Together, we can be Louisiana Lawyer. Learn more at lwcc.com/Louisiana Lawyer.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, December 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 60. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in. Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Christmas week is upon us. I hope everybody's taking the time to slow down and enjoy it as much as you can. I get that there are many demands right now, whether it's getting your shopping done. My God, what am I doing? Actually, I need to probably take my own advice and do that. Or, getting ready for the 4th or 5th or maybe even 6th dress-up day that your child's school has decided to force parents to stay on top of. But whatever the case may be, I hope you're enjoying this time. I've been actually forcing myself to, at the end of the day, to sit down and just watch some Christmas movies, dude. Did Die Hard last night.
Oh, I thought you weren't going to do it this year.
It was nice to revisit. Yeah, but then my wife, she didn't want to watch. I don't know why. She randomly wanted to watch Die Hard because she'd never seen it before.
Good for her.
Yeah, I was excited. She only made it to half of those, so she's going to finish it tonight. But either way, it was a fun night.
I mean, Hans Gruber is one of the greatest villains we've ever had.
Hans Gruber. Hey, McClane. It reminded me of one of my favorite Song of Purple and Gold episodes, which threw me in a nostalgic wormhole when Lord Kirby Dum Dum pledged to swear fealty to the Swamp King, but demanded that, he do it in person at a Christmas party, only to then try to pull a fast one. So I think we'll go down memory lane, maybe play that classic episode in hour number 3.
Weren't y'all randomly talking about Song of Purple and Gold? One of y'all said something right before T-Bob.
I saw it in the document that we were going to do a throwback,
it's in the document.
And I got excited.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe over the next couple days, just at the end of the shows, do some of my favorite episodes. Why not? It's a reflectory time of year. We got a lot of college football news to get to today. We got we now know the fate of Jayden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, transfer portal quarterback entering LSU. Speaking of transfer portal quarterbacks, we know what Carson Beck's going to do. We know what Dante Moore is going to do. We know what Dylan Raiola, this is a high school recruit, but we know what he's going to do. And so we're going to break it all down on today's show. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045 ESPN is how you can come chat and hang out and whatnot. How's everyone feeling today, boys? How we doing?
Feeling good, kind of like you. I mean, Christmas time, nice time to have some extra family time. Kids, I think today might be the last day.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, today might be the last day that they go. Obviously, they'll be off for a couple of weeks, and we get a couple of extra days here and there, so it'll be nice.
Mom and Dad cannot wait for school to start again. Yeah, it's a little more real nowadays. What's up? How are you bad boys back there?
Oh, doing great. Feeling really relaxed. I did not watch Christmas stuff last night, but I did go down kind of a little YouTube hole. I saw a video about Brian Cushing. He was a beast in college. A lot of issues with PEDs in the NFL, I guess. And then I saw.
I say he's probably doing them in college too, but yeah.
And actually, going back to his sophomore year of high school, they used to chant steroids whenever they played his high school
team. He's from that famous high school in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't remember the name, but yeah, saw a video about him. Then saw a video about Jada and Will Smith's relationship, which is really interesting. But at the end of the video, the guy basically declares that nobody wants a relationship like they have. So that was fun.
Okay. Yeah, man. Look, I can't even hate on you because, like I said, I've been mixing my Christmas movie watching, which is so wholesome and uplifting, with confessional tapes of teen murderers who killed their family. So, like, I too am,
during the holidays.
Yeah, it's weird. Whenever I'm driving, I just can't stop listening to it.
No, I mean the murders happened during the holidays. I'm asking.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's just seeing an actual sociopath talk is really just mind-blowing. Taylor, how are you feeling? What are you watching?
Yeah, compared to you guys, I had a little boring night. I did not dive into a YouTube rabbit hole. I did not watch Die Hard. I made some pizza and watched Monday Night Football. So,
yeah. Well, speaking of Monday Night Football, a very simple question, boys. And look, awesome moment for Drew Lock, Seahawks. Great passing catch from Lock and Smith and Jigba. But the question is, and that's going to make Taylor very happy, are the Eagles cooked, Jake?
And I was listening to whatever ESPN show, I don't even know anymore, is on the way in, and that was the entire conversation that they were having, and I don't even know who it was, but he's like, yeah, I got Jalen Hurts 9th on my quarterback list now, and so people are jumping off the bandwagon. It's like, okay, well, you got your DC who is now at Arizona, he's the head coach, Gannon.
Yep.
You got Shane Steichen, right, who's thriving in Indy.
Yep.
And like they're blaming everybody that's still there, like they're not the team that they were because they don't have these coordinators. And Matt Patricia, I believe, is now taking over as defensive coordinator. And so, yeah, it feels like it's spiraling a little bit. And Jalen Hurts, after the game, he's like, we've got to be more committed.
Yeah.
When the quarterback says that is a very interesting quote.
But then he didn't really want to – it's almost like he revealed a little too much of his honest feeling because he said that. And then when asked to expound on what he meant by that.
Quinn Williams, yeah.
He was just like, nah, I got a dictionary on me. Never mind. but yes, he's obviously mad at someone.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, but okay, here's the deal. Look, I get it. So they beat KC in KC, over a month ago? They're 1-3 since that moment. Last night was their first halftime lead in 7 games. You've made a defensive coordinator change, putting Matt Patricia over Sean Desai. But you're 10-4. You're still tied for the division lead, and you've got the easiest schedule remaining, the literal easiest schedule remaining in the NFL. You get 2 Giants games and at home against Arizona. You'll at least go 2-1 there. You'll almost assuredly go 3-0. You're going to finish the season 13-4. I'm still, and I saw some tweets out of Saints fans yesterday being like, ooh, the Eagles are frauds. And that's how we're going to tie this in locally, right? Because the Saints could win a division. And it's like, okay, out of all these NFC playoff teams, who could you realistically maybe steal a game off of? And, it feels tough to maybe see the Cowboys, whatever. And so because the NFL is such a week-to-week league, the takes last night started to be like, oh, I'd love to see the Eagles. Like the Saints get that. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I feel you. They're playing bad right now. But I would fade the Eagles at your own risk, right? When you've got leaders like Jason Kelce in that locker room, I would still
And Seattle's not a bad team either.
No.
That's another portion of this. Like, Seattle's not bad. Yes, they have the backup quarterback, but Drew Lock's been a starter in the NFL, for multiple seasons before in Denver.
Who would you rather play, Eagles or Cowboys, if you're the New Orleans Saints?
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs,
yeah. Cowboys. They choke every year. What do you mean?
It's a playoff.
Well, the Saints have traditionally, now is a different version of the Saints, but they have traditionally had success against the Eagles in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Look,
and it's a different version of the Eagles, to be fair as well.
Jeff Garcia and Nick Foles were the quarterbacks they beat. Jalen Hurts might be a step up.
Me and Mario were talking about it before the show.
Super Bowl winning quarterback Nick Foles.
You mentioned how they have the easiest remaining schedule.
Yeah.
They got to sit Jalen Hurts. He's not healthy. He had that injury a couple weeks ago. Last night, it wasn't just his passing and the turnovers. When he takes off and run, he is not the same runner that he was at the beginning of the year. I was looking at him run. I'm like, he looks like Matthew Stafford running the football right now, not Jalen Hurts.
Well,
he is not right.
He also has
Stafford just caught a stray.
He had the flu as well. I mean, I don't know how much that affected him.
He traveled by himself to the game.
like he literally flew by himself.
I get it, but this has been a couple of weeks. He's had a tweaked ankle for about 3 or 4 weeks now, and that offense has not been the same for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it's because it's affecting his ability to run, which is a big part of their game plan. He didn't look good last night, again, running the football. I mean, you got to sit him for at least 1 week to get him a little bit healthy. I think that's their biggest
quarterback.
Issue. Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
You can beat the Giants or Cardinals with Marcus Mariota.
I mean, it's a pretty good take, Taylor.
All right, David Carr.
I don't dislike the take at all. Get him healthy and ready for this final push. It's not like, Jalen Hurts has reached a point in his career where you can feel comfortable with his ability to stay in the flow and be ready for the playoffs if you were to give him time.
I said okay, David Carr, because he had that take a couple weeks ago and got crucified for it.
Really?
Basically said they should put Jalen Hurts on the shelf until he gets right, and in the meantime, go with Mariota.
I mean, maybe not for the. I kind of understand maybe keeping it through now, but certainly with these 3 games left, now, are you saying all 3, or is there one more than the others?
Until you think he's healthy. I mean, you got 3 good games. You could do 1, 2, or 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're firmly in the playoff right now. So,
clinch, yeah.
I mean, what's the point? Because if you watch that game last night, Jalen Hurts, he's a runner, but he's not a runner like a Lamar. He runs like a back. He drops his shoulder. He's a physical runner. He was sliding.
Lifter.
He was stepping out of bounds before the first down marker. He does not look right running the football. You got to sit him down for a game.
Brian Bird says Saints play the Cowboys. Who does Taylor root for?
The Saints. I'm sorry, the Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
I can't believe I said the Saints.
Wow.
Freudian slip and said so
I was reading the
dismissively.
document and saw the word Saints. No, the Cowboys.
Okay, who dat, Taylor? Let's
I
go.
love it. All
It's
right.
funny. Somebody
Rubbed off
asked
on
me
you.
that in the chat yesterday. The only Cowboys game I've been to was 2 years ago, and it was in the Dome. So I was the away fan, I guess you could say.
Oh, that's the only one you've ever been to ever?
Yeah, so I had my
I've been to more
Cowboys
Cowboy
jersey
games
on
than you have.
in the Dome. Yeah, I had my Cowboys jersey on in the Dome. It was fun, though. I mean, you get a little bit of heckling. I've never been an away fan before, so I enjoyed it. And I would
if you
do it
see
again.
Taylor in the Dome in a Cowboys jersey during the playoffs, you have permission to jump him.
Yeah.
And just stomp him out in the bathroom.
Everybody was pretty cool. There was one dude who didn't look old enough to be drunk, but he most assuredly was, and he got in my face after the game.
Those
and
are
I'm
generally the ones that you have to watch out for anyway.
I'm like, dude, we won by 20. Leave me alone. And then
what's the
Shout out to the Superdome beer vendors selling beer to 15-year-olds.
Yeah, for $15.
Honor tradition.
I don't know how they get so much money. Taylor, what's the jersey du jour? What's the jersey of choice?
Well, for that game, it was Ezekiel.
No. If it was going to be this year, let's say there's a playoff game in the Dome, you're going, what Cowboy jersey are you wearing?
Oh, Navy Micah Parsons jersey for sure.
Okay, cool. How many Cowboys jerseys do you own?
2 and a third's on the way.
Ooh, what's a third?
I'm ordering a CD Lamb one. It's on its way.
You couldn't even bring yourself to do Dak as he's in the midst of this NFL season.
So who's the other 2?
So I have like a Emmitt Smith one, a classic one.
I
got Parsons, and then the CD Lamb one's on the way.
All right. That man dislikes Dak so much that he's going to order a retro Emmitt Smith jersey.
I already have it.
Sad state of affairs. All right, look. Who would you rather face, Eagles, Cowboys in the playoffs?
I think Cowboys.
I'd still say Cowboys.
Yeah,
I'd still say
just
Cowboys.
past history of how they've played in the playoffs.
Okay, not only that, again, I know he has played well this year. I got it. I trust Jalen Hurts in the playoff more.
Yeah, that's kind of my point about everybody selling the Eagles right now.
The rest of the team.
But we know they can win at this time of the year.
You look at the Cowboys and Eagles, they're pretty even across the board as far as skill positions, all that. But I trust Jalen Hurts. I've seen him get to a Super Bowl. I've never seen Dak do it.
I'd rather play the Cowboys too.
All right. When we get back, let's move to LSU as, again, like I said, we now know the fates of Jayden Daniels, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, Kyron Lacey, and a new quarterback enters the fray. Coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee, $10,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All their metal panels on site, so they fit perfect and without any visible screws. Many of our roofs are still in Grand Isle from before the storm. Don't get stuck with a contractor. They won't be here when you need them. Call somebody you trust. Go to PremierSouthLA.com for premier craftsmanship and premier customer service. Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal.
Sandegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Special start time. We will be on from 10 until noon for this show only. Live at Lunch, 10 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time each year. Well, way up north where the air gets cold, there's a tale about Christmas that you've all been told. And a real famous cat all dressed up in red, and he spends the whole year working out in his sled. It's the little Saint Nick.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Man, just when you're not expecting it, a random NOLA no call debate breaks out in the studio during the commercial break. All right, let's get to some LSU football news. Jayden Daniels made it official yesterday morning around midday, announcing that he will not play in the ReliaQuest Bowl. This is good. This is correct, in my opinion. I would have never said no to Jayden Daniels playing in this game because I loved watching Jayden Daniels as much as I've ever loved watching any LSU Tiger in my entire life. In fact, probably as much as I loved watching any football player in my entire life. He was so overwhelming, so dynamic, so dominant. I mean, I still have dreams every now and then about that Florida game, and I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, that was just an absolute time watching him put that team on his back. I think about that 50-yard touchdown run all the time. Like, I know the 80-yarder was tight because it's 80 and it's a quarterback. That's insane. But that 50, man, watching him weave through the defense was like in V for Vendetta when he's moving so fast that it looks like everybody else is moving in slow motion. It was awesome. So he's not going to play in the ReliaQuest Bowl. That makes all the sense in the world, which now makes it official. It is time for the Nuss Bus. It's time for Garrett Nussmeier to put his best foot forward this bowl season and start the hype train for next year. He gets a full camp schedule with which to prepare and then to play on January 1st. And, Jake, in a very helpful turn of events, it was also announced by Brian Kelly that both Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors will play in the ReliaQuest Bowl. So Malik Neighbors, of course, had kind of stated his intention to do so because he wants to become LSU's all-time leading receiver, which, hell yeah. And the same way, because these are first-round receivers. So it is an injury risk and all that sort of stuff, but the same way that I said I would never poo-poo Jayden Daniels choosing to play, I'm not upset about getting to watch these guys play in an LSU uniform again. I'm excited. And for Garrett Nussmeier, what a nice break. That it's such a big moment for you, and you really need to gain the confidence of the fan base, of your coaches, of everybody, and you have 2 first-round receivers to throw to.
Yeah. He got to play in the bowl game last year. Remember, I mean, they were kind of rotating series, but now, like, he's going to be the guy. And would we, love to see Jayden Daniels play one more college game? Absolutely, we would. And it was the decision for him. I mean, when I was talking with him in New York, like, he's like, it's a decision. Like, it wasn't just, no, I'm not going to play in the bowl game. I think he really wanted to, but at the end of the day, the right decision because of what this bowl game is and where you're going. And also, like, you're not leaving your team high and dry. They do have a Garrett Nussmeier, and now it starts his era. Like, this is now fully his team, and he gets the opportunity to go out there. Now, how long does Malik Neighbors play in the game? Like, I don't know. Like, is it a situation
that's true. Like maybe
where he goes out there, he gets to the number, he's like, all right, we're good. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to only have that one player, Jayden Daniels, not playing this game, and BK said everybody else that's not in the portal is going to be available. So this is going to be a really strong LSU team going against Wisconsin. And surprisingly, because Jayden Daniels, when he decided to opt out of the bowl game, the line, which started at 10.5, went down to 7.5.
I mean, you should whip this Wisconsin team's ass.
You should.
There's just no, it's not quite. Well, actually, they're not at all in the dire straits that Purdue was last year where, no quarterback and a pretty good one, Aiden O'Connell, no head coach, yada, yada. But Wisconsin's just not a good team. They're not a very good team. And I actually think, as crazy as this sounds, there's a shocking amount of pressure on Matt House to turn in a good defensive performance here, despite the fact that, like, this bowl game kind of doesn't matter in a lot of ways. Like,
it matters for him.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And look, it matters for Brian Kelly. They need to get 10 wins. They're the heavy favorite, so you should win as a heavy favorite. That's something that Kelly's been good at since he's got the job. It matters to get 10 wins. It matters that, but, like, this is not some bowl game. It's one of those where it's a bowl game where, Jake, there's not a ton to be gained. There's just a bunch of a risk.
Yeah.
Like, if you win, good. You were supposed to win. If you lose, what in the hell is going on, right?
Yeah.
And so nowhere does that ring more true than Matt House and that defensive side of the ball. This dairy raid has been very ineffective.
It's been spoiled milk.
Yes, it has been a spoiled dairy raid.
Yeah.
And if you go out there and you get torched and you let Wisconsin put up points, well, come on, bruh. What are we doing? That could be a straw that breaks the camel's back type of situation. Other news, Kyron Lacey's going to return next season. That's massive. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Lacey continues to have all the physical potential in the world. Just has to tighten up some of the drop issues which plagued him at times, but at other times you saw the flashes of greatness that he can put out there. And what I thought was a very shrewd pickup and shrewd roster management by this LSU football team. They get A.J. Swan to commit to play quarterback, the transfer from Vanderbilt. And if you don't know who A.J. Swan is, he's a guy who's played a ton of football at Vanderbilt the last couple of years. And it's a nice threading of the needle with LSU, right? Where the one thing you were worried about next season was you had a lack of experience, a lack of depth. A.J. Swan has started a lot of games over the last 2 years. He's played a lot of SEC games. And so he gives you depth and experience. He's also got some potential. Like, we can look at the numbers in a second. You think, okay, maybe this guy can be really good. If he did this at Vanderbilt, how much better could you get in this very healthy offensive system with this offensive line, with these wide receivers? And so he's good enough, Jake, where it's not, there is a world, maybe it's not the most likely world, but there is a world where he could become the starter. So it's somebody who's going to push Nuss, not allow him to, like, get complacent or maybe just rest on the knowledge that he guarantee will be the starter. But he's also not so good that he runs Nuss off out of frustration or that he's been promised anything like a job or anything. As I said, I think Nuss wins it.
Yeah.
But this really checks all the boxes we talked about in terms of doing your due diligence, adding a transfer quarterback, getting more depth, providing competition, but also still being able to roll with the guy that you believe in currently.
Yeah, without question. It meets every single check list that we talked about. It marks all of them because we talked about, like, who it would be and where you would bring in a quarterback and what type of quarterback that would be. And we talked about it. A guy with multiple starts, a guy that maybe wasn't necessarily the full-time starter, a guy that you see potential in, and a guy that would come in here and he would push Garrett Nussmeier. And it would make Nuss know that, hey, we do have a guy that has, let's see, he's got, 15 SEC starts? And so, okay, well, that is somebody that if Nussmeier, for whatever reason, went down or something happened, you would have more confidence in than a young player because your backups outside of that are going to be a redshirt freshman and a true freshman. So now you get somebody that has that experience. There's been ups and downs without question. Against Kentucky this year, 16 of 40, 189, and 3 interceptions, right? That's the bad. But against Wake Forest, he throws for 314 and 3 touchdowns. So there's been some good, there's been some bad, but this is somebody that, coming out of high school, he had multiple offers. I think he was the 24th quarterback coming out in his class, and so he definitely has some talent, and it's like kind of the perfect fit for what you were looking for. Yeah,
so as a true freshman, I think he was a starter in that Florida game, right? The Vandy won?
In 2022?
Yeah. And so his true freshman stats are kind of interesting. He completes 58% for 1,200 yards, 6.4 yards per attempt. Freshman checking down. 10 touchdowns and 2 picks. You're like, oh, okay. Now, this last year, there was kind of some hype entering the season. Unfortunately, completion percentage went down. Yardage did go up significantly, over 100 yards per game. Yards per attempt went up a full yard to 7.4. Okay, you love that. And then 12 touchdowns, 7 picks. So a little wild, a little too sloppy at times, but there is improvement there. And again, it's a proven commodity with potential to pay bigger dividends that you just didn't have in that room before. So just a really solid pickup, even if, because look, a football team is made up of the entire roster. It goes beyond just the starters. So this is a weird pickup where maybe he doesn't play next year barely at all. So maybe you don't think about A.J. Swann that much. Maybe you don't see him that much, but he still is a vital piece of team building and roster building. And again, I like bringing someone in who can push Nuss. No jobs handed out, no complacency. It really pushed that whole quarterback room, right? Even the young guys who are now like, well, look, I don't just want to assume that A.J. Swann's going to be the number 2 pick. I was a big recruit as well. And so I just a real big win on all fronts.
Yeah, he's got, 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So 2 years of eligibility left, and who knows these days how much. But he came in, obviously, after they're giving extra years for COVID. So you have him for a couple of years. And, again, for all the things that you said for Nussmeier, but, yeah, it's a good point bringing up, like, the young guys. Like, so these young quarterbacks that are going to be on this roster, like, they know that they've got to go out there and they have to push. And they've got to play better if they truly want to have an opportunity, if they want to be the number 2. Because I would assume, like, for A.J. Swann coming in, nothing's been promised to him. They laid out the plan. Yeah. They laid out exactly who they have on their roster. So nothing's to say that those young guys can't elevate themselves either.
No, I mean, and look, if you're a quarterback, LSU would look pretty attractive now. Not just because the Heismans, but, I mean, look at the receivers that you're going to throw to. Look at the offensive line. And not just next year's offensive line, but when you look at the O-line recruits and you look at just Kelly's pedigree of O-linemen, like, you're going to be good at that position for a long time. The backs you're going to have, it represents such an upgrade for A.J. Swann at this point. And so maybe he's saying in his mind, okay, yeah, I know they like Nuss, but look, man, give me these toys to play with. Put Booby in and let Booby spin. We'll see. I'm excited, though. I'm excited. I feel like it's all coming into place. I'm happy for Jayden Daniels, and I'm now very interested to see Garrett Nussmeier over the next couple of weeks.
Are you surprised by kind of the makeup of a quarterback they went after? Like we talked about Morris with NC State. He was somebody that was more of a dual-threat quarterback. Now, A.J. Swan's not a dual-threat quarterback. I mean, he's a pure pocket passer. No, I like
that they don't – no, see, I love the fact that they're not married to a style. Right, I don't like coaches that are married to I can only win with this style of player. I think you have to be able to adapt to your roster, and so the fact that Denbrock and company are willing to say, okay, no, well look, this is what Jayden does well, and so we'll make our offense this, but then we can also bring in a guy like Nuss or Swann and have success because this is what he does well. So no, I think that's a good sign in my opinion.
Well, you know what the best part about this is?
No,
he plays like Garrett Nussmeier. So now you got two QBs that are similar.
That's also a good point.
That's what I look at. Like one of them goes down, offense doesn't change.
That's a very good point there as well, Taylor. So a solid day, I would say, of LSU news. Though at 8 o'clock, I think I want to explore where does LSU project in next year's SEC because it sure is feeling a little crowded. Coming up next, more OTB. Keep it locked, 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company. Go to communitysteelco.com. They got the brand new website, and they are, kind of a essentially brand new steel business right there out of Gonzales, Louisiana. And there's so many advantages. I love talking about the local aspect, right? Because they have an actual human, live and local sales team that you interact with, that you get to know. They get to know your business, what you need, right? Because we're all different. This is not some national company with just online order forms, robots, telephone calls. No, live and in person. You also get the best prices because there's no middleman in the process. They buy directly from the wholesaler. They make it all on site right there. Again, in Gonzales, you can go see it, feel it, touch it, purlin, tubing, sheet metal, steel buildings. It's all there for you at Community Steel Company. CommunitySteelCo.com. Check it out today. You're welcome.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
This is Michelle Southern on behalf of the Grove Recovery Center. The holiday season is meant to be a time of celebration with family and friends, but for those battling with alcoholism and drug addiction, it can be an incredibly painful time that includes depression, anxiety, and a feeling of loneliness. The Grove Recovery Center understands and would love to help. If your loved one is battling alcoholism or substance abuse, there's no better time to begin a new journey of recovery. Call 225-310-2600 to let the family at the Grove begin a new way of life with you.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Respect isn't something that's just given, it's earned. It comes from having experience and possessing knowledge that can be passed on to the next generation. Jim's Firearms.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricut and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricut and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricut.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax to sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
You know that look you get when a loved one opens up a gift and you know that you've nailed it? The perfect present? Well, we have just the gift to get that look. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down to the ground, and you never have to touch your shoes. So how do hands-free Skechers slip-ins work? It's like there's a built-in shoehorn in the heel, so your foot slides into place. Find slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Cut through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
You've heard about it. We've got it. Semaglutide. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West on the Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels, and we get closer to National Signing Day. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
We'll get into the Rashard Mendenhall debate that he kicked off yesterday of an all-white NFL team versus an all-black NFL team. I'll just say this. Will Compton had a very funny, very in-depth 4-minute breakdown of the roster that he would put together. And I was kind of feeling it early on. I'm like, okay, yeah, we got CMC, the Great White Hope back there. Yeah, it's working. And then when we got to Adam Thielen as wide receiver 2, I kind of, oh boy, I knew we were cooked.
Disrespect to Adam Thielen.
Okay, so I guess you're right, Jake.
I mean, he's almost got 1,000 yards this year.
He's awesome. He's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is. So I guess you're right. It is disrespect, but it's just being honest in terms of if that's your wide receiver 2, it's, you're just.
A lot of 13 personnel, T.
Yeah, we're going to have to go heavy, slow down the game.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Yes.
Hockenson.
So, yeah, that's when it was feeling good.
Yeah.
Like he said, we got all the tight ends. We got all the tight ends, but the skill.
That poor Christian McCaffrey boy. Ooh, he be.
Yeah, Will Compton hasn't played both ways.
That's the thing. Like, you have the running back, but no one behind him. No one. Look, T-Bob, a top three. We were talking about it in break. Like, you got Kupp, you got Thielen, and Hunter Renfrow hadn't had the chemistry with O'Connell that he did with Derek Carr, but
we're done.
Dude, we
Renfrow.
Can't be getting to Hunter Renfrow already.
He's a starter on his team.
Yeah. What? Okay.
You're acting like he's like a bench player.
No,
look, you could do worse. You could do worse than Kupp, Thielen, and Hunter
the top
Renfrow.
three for the black team right now?
Anybody in the league.
I mean, who would be the top three? And then let's just shine that against our Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, and Hunter Renfrow
it would be
combo.
Tyreek, A.J. Brown,
oh my God,
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, if you want to go to three receivers,
Justin.
that
oh my God, we got
season,
Jamar. There's Jets in there. Like, bro, we are.
They're gonna have
cooked.
like a 15-man rotation.
It's all
just
good,
like
dude. It's
constantly.
all good.
Look, Riley Moss just needs you to get healthy. Cooper DeJean needs you to get healthy.
That was maybe the funniest part of the. That was maybe the funniest part of the entire video where Compton's like, maybe there's like a P Squad guy out there just waiting for his big moment, or I know there's another Iowa white corner. Might just have to call him up to the big leagues.
Yeah. Cody Schrader, you're getting called up.
I mean, maybe you get Kirk Ferentz to coach the team. I don't know, dude.
A name that he left out, Taysom Hill.
Taysom
got to be on this team.
That could be your second.
Value in Taysom.
That could be your second running back too, to give you depth with
RB2
McCaffrey,
for sure.
Yeah.
Get some wildcat packages with him and McCaffrey, and 2 tight ends on the field, 3 tight ends. Like
you could also use it. Well, if you don't feel good about the receivers, he could be a pass catcher as well.
13 personnel with Taysom at quarterback, C-Mac in the backfield, and then the 3 big T's.
Because you're going to be good on the O-line.
Okay, dude. Yeah.
13 personnel, in case you're wondering. 3 tight ends, 1 receiver, 1 running back.
No, I like that read option with McCaffrey and Taysom. Keep the ball so you don't have to worry about your corners. Your O-line should be pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel like Josh Allen could run that too.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Taysom both.
Here's a name I have. That's true. Here's a name I have not heard in a long time. Now, this is only current players, but Adam Field says also don't sell low on Wayne Krebet. God, I used to. Do you even know who? You don't know? Do you know who Wayne Krebet is?
Jets.
Yeah.
Okay, look at you. Okay, impressive. Shout out Wayne Krebet. Him and
is it bad
Curtis
that, like,
Martin
a guy that retired 15 years ago, we won on the team?
Well, I mean, the obvious one here is Jason Sehorn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Jason Sehorn was
like
trending on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Richard Mendenhall for kicking off a fun time. Nookie in the chat.
I don't think he meant to do that.
No.
I don't think he meant to do that, but he did it.
I think he did it out of anger, but it's a fun thought exercise nonetheless. And look, Adam Thielen is really good, and he's having a really good year. What is Cooper Kupp doing this year? That I actually don't know.
He's been hurt a lot. I mean, when he's
Since
played,
the
he's
Triple
been good.
Crown, right?
Yeah. He's so he started the year on IR, so he didn't play for like the first 6 weeks. He got
the
hurt.
Triple Crown now was what, 2 years ago or 3 years ago? It all starts to blend together.
The Super Bowl year.
Yes.
And
it was last year.
He was actually
I think Compton said that, but I don't think
he was
so.
actually on pace last year to have a better season
throughout
through the first 9 or 10 games. Gets hurt, rehabs, gets hurt again right before camp, misses the first 6 games. He's been good when he's played
he's
this year.
Played
He just
well
hadn't
when he's been in.
Yeah. Like per game stats, he's been good. He just doesn't have like the raw numbers.
Chat saying that the white team has all the kickers.
We do.
Hell
we
yeah.
talked about that yesterday.
Good. Great. That's going to win it for us.
Justin Reed, who plays safety for the Chiefs, he's kicked before. So Justin Reed can make some kicks.
What was his name? Daragumbawale from the Texans. Remember, he hit the field goal earlier this year.
JoJo LaFell told me back in the day that his high school team, that they wouldn't kick. They would just onside kick. They would go for it on all 4th downs. They would. Their coach told them they had to get a celebration penalty when they scored touchdowns. I feel like that's how we're going to be getting stunned on, boys. Just no kicking, and it's not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. But hey, what are you going to do, dude? Okay, last semi-problematic but funny comment I'm going to read here. Shoebank says each team gets Mahomes for half. Okay, we're done. We're moving on.
No, the coaches would have to be Jason Sudeikis as Ted Lasso and LeVar Ball. Now we're done.
I would take. I still think Kirk Ferentz may be my my coach of choice to get us ready to muddy up a game, right? To just really slow it down as much as possible.
I'm liking.
I mean, we're already a Big Ten West team at this point.
Saying. Put as much emphasis as you can on trying to make the game a rock fight.
I'm liking the Taysom McCaffrey read option. I think that's the way to go.
I think it. It's not bad.
Slow the game down.
I think Allen even better in that role though. Still,
whoever.
Yeah. What was this? Well, I think we actually just did that entire segment. So let's go. That was not in the plan. Let's go to break. When we get back, we'll wrap up hour number 1. I want to talk a little bit of Pelicans as John Morant set to make his debut tonight. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2Z window coverings, K2ZBlinds.com. Look, man, I've heard through the grapevine that it seems like y'all are doing a great job of hitting up K2Z. Tell them you heard it on OTB. Thank you. Continue to do so. Not to support the boys, though certainly we love that, right? Like, I love advertising for local businesses that I believe in, and I believe in K2Z. I believe in Brandon Barton's 25 years of experience, and I believe in the customer satisfaction that you're going to get in terms of the process and the product, right? But I also think it's good for you, right? I mean, Jake, you just went through it. Like, if you want to take your room or outdoor living space to the next level, functionally, aesthetically, you want K2Z.
Yeah, I mean, our shade's actually on our outdoor space, but where it's set up, I mean, we would have sun coming to the living room, and you couldn't really even watch TV during the day. I walked in yesterday, it's down, the glare's gone. I mean, it completely changes the look and the feel. K2ZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, when it comes to hosting your meeting or event, we're in the business of saying yes. From our intimate boardrooms that can accommodate as few as a dozen people, to our extravagant ballroom that can host events for 500 people, the Renaissance Hotel wants to make your next event unforgettable. To book your next event, call the Renaissance Hotel today at 215-7000. That's 215-7000, 215-7000.
If you're tired of erosion and mud and want your lawn looking its best, winter is the easiest time to lay grass sod. Let Quality Sod help you select the perfect grass for your lawn. For winter sale prices, call 610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Are you ready to take charge of your weight loss journey? Look no further than Unique Physique, offering semaglutide and tirzepatide. Unleash the new you with Unique Physique. Unique Physique has clinics in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and Lake Charles. Our dedicated team is here to support you all the way. No contract. No gimmicks, just the lowest prices in Louisiana. Don't wait any longer. Book your appointment and start your transformation at uniquephysiquebr.com today. Individual results may vary. Must auto renew. Please consult with our team to see if semaglutide and tirzepatide are right for you.
Hey guys, I'm Jamie, Holly, Lexi from Just For Him Men's Haircut. If you're ready for the best haircut experience ever, come see us at Just For Him. Just walk in, receive a cold drink and a perfect cut from me or one of our Just For Him stylists, followed by a shampoo service with a hot towel and relaxing scalp massage. Have you tried our hot shave yet?
We're open every day except Sunday. If you can hear this, you're only a few minutes away from one of our convenient Just For Him locations.
Where the drinks are cold and the shaves are hot.
T-Bob here for St. Vincent de Paul. Make a donation that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you can no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation can get you a tax deduction. Go to svdpbr.org.
Make Churchill's your gift-giving headquarters with a wide selection of gift sets including high-end wine, select spirits, premium cigars and accessories, and everything you need to stock your own bar, from mixers and martini supplies and every cigar you can imagine, plus cutters, ashtrays, and humidors. Churchill's is sure to have a special package that would make anyone's face light up like a Christmas tree. Proud to be locally owned since 1997. Open Monday through Sunday. Churchill's, 2561 City Place.
After further review with Matt Moscona, Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
You've heard about it. We've got it. Semaglutide. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll get you an LSU practice report, and Saints getting ready to head out west, take on the Rams. We'll have the latest 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. John Morant set to make his debut tonight in the Smoothie King Center, and it's weird because it is still football season for a lot of people, so maybe you haven't been paying. Like, I'm not fully locked in on the NBA yet. I'm kind of looking at the corner of my eye, and so you're probably thinking, okay, this is like a 500 Grizzlies team, and John Morant's going to come back, and they're going to surge, right? They're going to do really well. And if you think back to the last few years, like when they haven't had Morant, they've still been very good, and they've still done very well, and they've still won a lot of games. But if you look at this Grizzlies team, it has been a disaster this season. 6-19 on the year. You add Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart in the offseason. You think that's going to bring some sort of veteran leadership. If you lose Dylan Brooks and add Marcus Smart, that feels good, right? But right before the season starts, Steven Adams out for the year with knee surgery. They are really missing, I think, his leadership and his voice. You had some interesting quotes out of Rose during media day where they're like, you're here to like show Ja the way, right? And Rose being like, look, I'm not here to babysit, man. I mean, I'm here to play, I'm here to play basketball. It's a weird situation where the Grizzlies have dug themselves into such a hole at 6-19, and the West looks so good in the top 10 that, yes, Ja's returning, but is the Grizzlies season already functionally done?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they got last night, same situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of season left. 6-19, you still have 3 quarters left of the season. But like you said, might be too big of a hole. Like, the players that they have without John Morant are not nearly as effective. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., beast defender, but not the best at creating his own shot. You could say the same about Desmond Bane. But now with Morant back, it might reinvigorate them. It's definitely going to be a challenge for the Pels tonight.
I mean, they definitely get better, and because it's the first game, he's going to want to take over and dominate. Now, maybe he comes out and looks rusty, or maybe he comes out and looks like fresh legs and he does take over, right? It could go either way. I will say this. In terms of team momentum, you have two teams that are trending the complete opposite direction. Grizzlies losers of 5 in a row, 3-7 in their last 10. The Pelicans invert it. Winners of 4 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. And as we said, playing complete team basketball right now where it doesn't have to be just Zion, doesn't have to be BI. Some nights it's CJ McCollum. It feels like a lot of stuff has been running through Jonas Valanciunas lately. I like the Pelicans to win this game.
Yeah.
Even with the boon of Ja returning, being at home, the form they're playing with, the depth of this Pelicans team right now, compared to lack thereof for the Grizzlies, I think the Pelicans are going to get it done at home tonight.
It almost feels like the Thunder are like the team that the Grizzlies have been, like they've been over the last couple of years, and it seems like the Grizzlies they're nowhere near what they have been, even without Ja Morant, whatever. Like that roster is just not the same, and so like now you're looking at a team like OKC, and like can the Pelicans, like can they be that? Like, it feels like they're kind of competing with that team to kind of be that.
Yeah, I mean, these are teams that have really good pieces around their star players, right? And the Pelicans are starting to get some of those pieces back. Like guys like Najee Marshall have really stepped up, and now Trey Murphy back in the fold. All to a great start, shooting 40% on his three-pointers this year.
Yeah, he looks like an all-star.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, like we said yesterday, I feel like eventually you're going to have to shrink that rotation a little bit, and it will be tough. Like, the Pelicans are a very deep team, and these decisions might not be very good when you look back later on in the season in hindsight, but these are tough decisions that will eventually have to be made. And I feel like Trey Murphy is starting to get it going a little bit. I'm curious to see if he could get back to kind of the form he was in towards the end of last year.
He's going to find it. He's I fully believe that. So big game for the Pels tonight. If you're looking for something to watch on this Tuesday, or if you're in New Orleans, you want to go do something fun, I would say that's going to be a great environment to be in.
On TNT again, see if Charles Barkley and Shaq have anything to say about Zion's conditioning and kind of how he's bounced back, I guess, since that loss against the Lakers.
Yeah. I thought Zion handled that all pretty well in the media, very mature. I mean, I know that he's heard it a lot, and it's kind of a boring conversation where Greg Lamont says, sorry, there's a weird switch. Greg Lamont says, wait, the Thunder are good now? WTF? LOL. Yes, second in the West, 17-8. So that's what I was going to say. Do you have to win a championship to get in the Hall of Fame as a front office exec? Because Sam Presti is a Hall of Fame general manager, it feels like. But I don't know. He doesn't have a ring, and, will he ever get one? I'm sure at some point he has to. But him managing to just constantly reload, reinvent, and keep the Thunder so good and relevant it's crazy.
Model for small market franchises, for sure.
Yes, the prime model. All right, hour 2 coming up next. Where does LSU figure in next year's SEC?
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Are in the gym and you aren't seeing results. Maybe you don't sleep great at night. You could need hormone replacement therapy. It's safe, it's affordable, and it's at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. A simple blood test can let you know if you can change the way you feel every day. Learn more online at theantiagingclinics.com.
Thinking about getting engaged this holiday? Start looking now at Lee Michaels. My friend Mr. Scott Burke just got back from overseas buying diamonds and came back with some incredible values and a beautiful selection of natural diamonds waiting for you to give to your future missus. Put that red box under the tree and make this Christmas the one she'll always remember. You know you can trust a business that has been in our community for 45 years, Lee Michaels. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, 1 in Shreveport, New Orleans, and Lafayette. LMFJ.com.
Need steel decking fast? Choose Southern Steel Decking, Louisiana's premier metal decking supplier. Our lightning fast 24-hour turnaround ensures you get your decking when you need it. And we deliver statewide. Visit southernsteeldecking.com. That's southernsteeldecking.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
If you're tired of erosion and mud and want your lawn looking its best, winter is the easiest time to lay grass sod. Let Quality Sod help you select the perfect grass for your lawn. For winter sale prices, call 610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Hi, this is Gordy Rush, and for nearly a century, Guarantee Media has stood as a pillar of trust in the Baton Rouge area, nurturing client success and growth. Today, we introduce a game changer, Guarantee Media Digital. Aligning the power of radio with the precision of digital marketing, we promise heightened revenue, fortified brand recognition, and unparalleled return on investment. Radiate success with the unity of radio and digital. Claim your free digital audit at GuaranteeMedia.com.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Brandon Becknell. In Denham Springs, call Scott Landry. And in Plaquemine, call Kyle Robichaux.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is a.m. on Tuesday, December 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, you expect clear skies with a high of 60. If you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
It's happening, y'all. Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2. This hour of Off the Bench brought to you by Skull Axe Throwing. That's right. You want to have some fun? You want to go to Skull. They're right there off of Lee. If it's a date night, you know, look, if it's your first date, activities, right? Now, if you're a confident boy and you're a good conversationalist, maybe a more traditional meal is your speed. But if you're looking for something that's going to break the ice, get you outside of your comfort zone, like, why does The Bachelor have them go jump out of helicopters and stuff? Because you need something to talk about, right? Well, what if you go throw axes for the first time? It's a great place for date night. They got food, drinks, axe throwing, girls' night, boys' night, office, team building events. You want Skull. Go to gcaxe.com, gcaxe.com. Use the promo code EARLYBIRD. You get 20% off Skull Axe Throwing. Go there today, right next to Mike Anderson's off of Lee. Okay, a few different conversations. We're going to do a lot of college football this hour. As the transfer portal quarterback, where's that coming from? Oh, my. Somebody is watching stuff on their phone during the show.
I was actually...
Taylor, would you like to share with the class? You
want
to read your note to the class?
Yeah, sure. It was a Jersey Mike's ad because I was opening up the YouTube chat and it just happened to be turned up.
Why were you opening up the YouTube chat?
Because somebody asked me if I got a haircut, so I was just going to be like, "How could you see that?"
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm just kind of far away from the.
Also, Taylor's hair somehow. How often do you get your hair cut?
Oh, once every 2 to 3 months.
That's crazy.
Not very often.
Because
maybe
it
every
does
2
not
months.
change.
Every 2 months, maybe.
Right?
It doesn't grow
I knew
Yeah.
he was going to say that he doesn't get it cut often, but it doesn't grow and it doesn't get shorter. It just stays perfect and exactly as it is.
Maybe every 2 months. I just got it done Friday.
So he's a Lego man.
Oh,
got a
hell,
cut.
yes, exactly. Like I was saying, yes, he's a perfect.
T-Bob goes
Lego
every
man.
2 weeks.
I do go every 2 weeks, and that's why my hair has been impeccable lately. Although I'm going to have to, thanks to a Snap subscriber thing that I did, I'm supposed to cut it into an F-boy fade and get a spray tan to match Aaron Murray, which really bums me out because after years of trying to figure out the hair that I'm happy with, I feel like I finally got here. But I'm officiating my brother's wedding in April, and when I told my wife what I was about to do, she basically threatened my life if I were to do that, really at all, but before the wedding
so
especially.
What is this that you committed to?
I just said if we hit 10K subscribers that I would cut my hair like Aaron Murray's and get a spray tan. Because he goes like hardcore Tampa F-boy fade.
Yeah, he does. It's high up there.
It's high. It's like getting to Tebow type levels.
No,
not quite.
Not quite that.
Tebow's line is in the middle of his head. Next year it's going to be 3/4 over, and there's just going to be a little bit of hair.
Yeah.
But I hate it. I don't know why I do these things. I hate it, but it's at least now been pushed off maybe till like June. I don't want to go through all of summer looking like that. Ugh, whatever. I don't know. I should just stop agreeing.
I mean, you've had that haircut before.
Yeah.
Kinda. I mean.
Yeah.
All right, Bob.
Yeah. All right, Bob, for sure. And I used to love it. But I don't know. Whatever. I don't even know why we started talking about this. Oh, yeah. Haircuts.
Taylor's. He was watching a video.
2-3 months. Never changes.
No, it doesn't.
No. So as we look, if you missed the first hour of the show, Jayden Daniels not going to play in the bowl game. Great news for him. And now very interesting. You get to watch Garrett Nussmeier. Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors will play in the bowl game. More great news for Garrett Nussmeier is now at a time when he's going to try to put his best foot forward as an essential confidence builder for the coaches, the fans, for everybody. He gets to throw to 2 first-round wide receivers. Kyron Lacey's going to return next year. More great news for Garrett Nussmeier. But we'll have some competition as Vanderbilt's A.J. Swan has committed to LSU out of the transfer portal. This is a sophomore quarterback who's pretty solid, great depth and experience added to that room, and enough potential as to not allow for complacency. If you want the full conversations, you can go back and watch. So knowing all of that, Jake, let's look forward to next season. Because Ole Miss right now is doing insane things in the transfer portal, and they're already pretty good. They continue to land guys. They land another 4-star DB out of Mississippi State. I heard a nasty rumor that the reason why he didn't choose LSU over Ole Miss is because he doesn't know who his coach is going to be. Don't know if that's true or not. Certainly, though, it's a way to make you angry. They're still, I believe, reported to be the lead dog for Walter Nolan's talents. And so let's play a game here. Let's say in a 12-team playoff, 4 SEC teams make it on average. Yeah, some years you may get 5. Some years you may even get 3, right? We'll see. But let's say 4 make it on average.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think those 4 will be next year?
Alabama, Georgia.
You know that. We're never going to doubt Alabama again. Never again.
Nope.
Never again. Shouldn't have this year. We did anyway. Like Led Zeppelin. The song remains the same. I hate it. But once again, even though I talked a big game, I still pay my taxes to Nick Saban at the end of the day.
Yeah. So
I'm going to rebel next year. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Not really. Yeah. Not really. He stepped in my throat again this year, and I even had to throw in an extra 5%.
Yeah, and then when all those things were happening, double-digit home loss hadn't happened to Nick Saban since 2003. That year, LSU won a national championship. Hadn't been out of the AP top 10 since 2015. That year, won a national championship.
Oh, tight. Right on.
All those things, we're right there for us to look at, see, absorb, and still, have some outlandish takes on.
Why doesn't somebody just kneecap me already? Just give me some pain. Remember we talked about how Jim Carrey, the Navy SEAL or the CIA operative, whoever was, taught him to punch himself in the leg.
Yeah.
To take away from the anxiety. Just go ahead and kneecap me so I have some other pain to focus on than Alabama being so good.
Yeah, so Alabama, Georgia.
Yep, no doubt, because Carson Beck returned as well, which we'll get into.
I would even say throw Texas in there.
I think you have to.
All right. So,
and I've been the biggest Sark doubter.
And then your 4th team comes from one of 4 teams. Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri.
Yep. Yep. Now, so I agree with you on that grouping, but rank the grouping.
Like right now?
I'm not high on Oklahoma.
I think it would go Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Even though, no, so you want to put Mizzou over LSU right now? I guess that's close.
Yeah,
it's
well, you have
close.
the head-to-head
You have the
on their
head-to-head.
stadium, and obviously, like, you're
But they got
losing
Cook
players,
returning.
and they're Schrader's gone, though.
Schrader's gone. But they got that
They got
good,
Luther
they
Burden
got
coming
Marcus
back.
Carroll, huh? Didn't they?
Yeah,
the
from
Georgia State running back?
Yeah, they hit a 40-something yarder against LSU.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's good, dude. He rushed over 1,300 yards. He's good.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I mean, they got Burden and Cook return. I guess it's like, but sure, you're right. We can give LSU the benefit of the doubt, maybe, but it is close with Mizzou, and then even Ole Miss probably slots in ahead of you right now preseason.
Well, if we're going to use the same logic that we did for LSU beating Mizzou, Ole Miss beat LSU. And then Ole Miss has quarterback, running back, receivers, tight end, all coming back.
Yeah, they had Juice Wells, him and Trey Harris, probably preseason make up the best two receiver combo in the SEC, just off the top of my head. I could be missing something that we could find. Quinshon Judkins is. I guess the only thing I don't know about Ole Miss yet is I still am not in love with the quality of their offensive line and how much. I know they got a great interior guard. They got the number 3 ranked interior guard in the transfer portal, so that's some improvement there. But like that would be the only mitigating factor I would see right now for Ole Miss would be maybe the offensive, because the defensive line looks like it should be really good with Prince Umanmielen and if they get Nolan, and they added the number 2 edge rusher as well. It is so wild to me that we live in a time where the Ole Miss Rebels will be a preseason consensus top 10 and maybe even a top 5 team. Now, what they're going to have to figure out, Jake, and this is a real concern, can you turn around that chemistry? Because the season's going to be on you immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it may feel far away to us having to wait the entire offseason for football once again, but if you're a coach, if you're in it, every day a lot of times feels like minutes are just running out. There's not enough time in the day. Soon, spring's going to be here, into summer, into fall, and like you got to make sure that all these new pieces work together.
You do, and that's one of the things in the portal, like how quickly can you get the chemistry of your team together? Is it going to be this year? Would it be next year? Like that's something that you don't know, but it's not even really like who they've added through the portal. Like certainly that's a big deal. And you get an edge rusher from Tennessee, like you said. You get a safety from Tennessee. You get a corner from Mississippi State who's from Louisiana. I mean, he went to Bossier High. I mean, he is somebody that you would have liked to add to your roster, knowing how much you need that position. And you get a Juice Wells who goes from Group of 5 to Power 5 and dominates, and then gets hurt, and we know what he can be. But it's really more about who they have returning from their own roster. It's Jackson Dart, Quinshon Judkins, it's Harris. It's all these players that we've already seen. Like we know they're going to work well together. And then like you supplement these portal additions. Like if you were starting completely over and you had a nice addition at quarterback, your RB1, receiver 1, that's really a question of, man, what's this chemistry going to look like? How long is it going to take? But that part's already really figured out. They just have to figure out how to implement these new guys into starting lineup and make sure they don't mess with the chemistry they've already built.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. That's actually, you're right. That's like that's why it all feels so impressive, is because they're adding to what is already a good team. Again, I think this bowl game is very important for Lane Kiffin. Prove he can win a big game, get to 11 wins, first time in school history, and then they're off and running into the offseason. So we're going to see. Let's get to some of your comments in the chat here. Edub says, LSU lost 3 games this season. There is no way they only lose 2 next year. And then John O'Shea says, are we really not changing D coach or coordinators? It was just about the players. Well, there's definitely going to be assistant changes. I don't know about coordinator change, which, a lot of people would argue is fundamentally flawed, right? Like if you're a big-time CEO or a business owner and a portion of your business performs as poorly as the defense did, do you just fire the underlings? I don't know. Seems to be what LSU's leaning towards doing, though. So yes, I agree. It's hard to feel uber confident about LSU going into year 3, despite the fact that Coach Kelly's been painting year 3 as the time when the leap should be made, because not only do you have some weaknesses that you have to figure out, but the SEC looks really damn strong, right? Like you were hoping that Texas would suck. Well, no. It looks like Texas is really good, and it looks like they're going to be very good. You were hoping that the Alabama empire is crumbling. No, not even close. You already knew Georgia was going to be Georgia. Although Oklahoma's taking a weird downturn after that Texas win and with the transfers and everything, like they still went 10-2. You know, they're still very good to year 2 out of Brent Venables. And now suddenly Mizzou's good. And Mizzou's got an entire state economy behind him, and they're committed. It is really crowded. That's like when I was having this conversation the other day, and it's like you see like, okay, oh, wow, Kentucky got Vandergrift. Kentucky got, who's the running back? Oh, they got Rocket Sanders.
No, he went to South Carolina. They got a running back from Ohio State.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they got Trainham. They got Trainham, Rocket Sanders to South Carolina. These are good moves for those players, but it's like, and even for the team gets better, but does it matter because there's so little oxygen in the room right now when you're talking about the SEC?
Yeah, and then like you look at other factors like schedule, right? Your non-conference, if you're LSU, you play against USC in Las Vegas, and you play against UCLA in Tiger Stadium, and then even like your group of 5, South Alabama. Well, they beat the hell out of Oklahoma State this year, who went to a Big 12 championship game. So I'm not saying you're going to lose to them, but I'm saying that's a quality opponent for what that game is.
Yeah.
Being out of the group of 5. Well, okay, so USC, UCLA, 2 Big Ten teams, and then South Alabama. For Ole Miss, they've got Furman, Middle Tennessee, Wake Forest, and Georgia Southern.
Well, and they even got one of the friendliest conference draws, did they not?
Yeah, so in their conference schedule, they've got Kentucky at home, at South Carolina, at LSU, Oklahoma at home, at Arkansas, Georgia at home, at Florida, and then the Egg Bowl at home against Mississippi State.
I mean, bruh. So any hard game they have is in Oxford.
So no Alabama, no Texas, no Mizzou, no Tennessee.
That's what I'm saying. It is all lining up Kiffin. Hate to see it. It's a good thing Ole Miss sucks. And they're cowards, and they're just going to lose. And they're just going to blow it. I hope so. Maybe not. Gulf South says, I don't trust Texas to be good in back-to-back years until they prove it. I get that. I would love to be right there next to you. I just can't get there because they're going to return Quinn Ewers. Is that official?
I think it's like officially unofficial.
Okay, but it's not fully official yet.
Not fully,
okay.
No.
But they're going to turn Quinn Ewers.
Malik Murphy going to the portal, pretty much.
That's true. And as much as I love to make fun of Steve Sarkisian, again, I have to give credit where credit's due. He broke through his glass ceiling. They won 10 games. They finished really strong. They won games they would lose in the past. They won games with the backup quarterback against good teams. I think these are a lot of sustainable elements going forward.
You want to talk about a team that we put in the group, like that team where they're trying to get that maybe last playoff spot out of the SEC. We talked about 4 different teams. Missouri was one of them. And you want to talk about, you mentioned who they had coming back, and I agree with you. They've also got the number 2 player in the country in high school committed to them. So they're doing big things. And then you look at schedule. Murray State, Buffalo, all these games are at home.
Wait, who are you talking about Texas right now?
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri right now. Okay. Sorry.
Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, Vanderbilt to open the season. All at home. Bye week at A&M, at UMass. They're going to UMass. Auburn, at Alabama, bye week. Oklahoma at home, at South Carolina, at Mississippi State, Arkansas.
Very friendly, relative. Everything's relative to the SEC as it stands now, but that's
no
very
Georgia,
friendly.
no LSU, no Ole Miss,
no Texas,
no Texas.
So they missed the entire Big 4, Big 3 really, but they missed
at Alabama certainly at Alabama
projected top 4. Oh no, they're at Alabama. Okay,
yeah, at Alabama bye week. Oklahoma at home is their toughest stretch.
Although I don't know what A&M's first 4 looks like, but at College Station to open up SEC play.
After bye week.
Maybe a sneaky trap game with a Mike Elko squad, maybe playing with a little bit of belief. I might be reaching here.
A&M
might be reaching here a little bit.
Notre Dame at home to open the season.
Ooh.
And then you've got McNeese, and then you're at Florida week number 3, and then you got Bowling Green at home. Then you've got Arkansas and Jerry's World, and then you've got Missouri.
We'll see.
Notre Dame at Florida, rivalry situation versus Arkansas.
Jeff G, T-Bob, the defense has another down year. Do you see BK on the hot seat if he doesn't change the coordinators? I don't think a hot seat exists, obviously, because of the contract. But I think if it's like the goodwill hot seat, right, the fan belief hot seat, then yeah, absolutely. Look at what has happened to Lincoln Riley in a calendar year, Jake. I was thinking about this yesterday. Last year, when Quad Bob was born on the day of the Pac-12 championship, USC was 11-1.
Yeah.
The world was their oyster. They were about to win the Heisman, win the Pac-12, go to the play, all this sort of stuff. They're 7-7 since that moment.
Yeah.
And everything that Lincoln Riley did in that incredible year one has been erased and then some. It's been razed to the ground and then dug even deeper and buried. And now Malachi Nelson's transferring out, and people are like, does Lincoln Riley suck? And I like the defensive hires they made, so I'm still betting on Riley, but it would be a similar situation if Matt House came back and was a disaster again next year.
It's kind of started to be a mass exodus for USC. It's not just Nelson, who was the top-rated player and quarterback in last year's class. I mean, you start to look at some of the other guys. I mean, we talked about it. I don't know if it was on air during a break. Tackett Curtis from Manning, Louisiana.
Who's during the break?
He played a lot last year. He had a couple of sacks. He had 4 tackles for loss. You mentioned he was Pac-12 freshman of the week one time. I mean, this is a high-level player, right? He's in the portal. So,
you can surely convince him to come play for House.
You're losing your top corner as well. So, they're losing a lot. I'm looking right now. They've got double-digit guys. Maybe it could be 20 guys, I think, right now in the portal for USC, and they've only brought in 1. I think they brought in maybe 2 players from other places.
In a weird way,
they brought in a long snapper from Michigan State.
This makes sense.
His name, Hank Pepper.
Hank Pepper. Pepper that punter, Bo. All right, when we get back, I know, Taylor, I want to give you a chance to comment, but we're very late. So let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll continue this conversation.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. As I said, we love supporting local business a lot of times and partnering with them, right? A lot of times this is new business, and a lot of times this is business that's been doing this thing for a long time now. And Central Plumbing's been at it for 50 years, y'all. And you don't have the growth or the staying power of Central Plumbing without your customers being consistently satisfied every single step along the way. So any plumbing issues, remodels, upgrades, it's all there for you at centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
And when you go to the website, you'll see what T-Bob's talking about. If you're looking to remodel that's at your home or business, they can certainly come in and they can handle anything that you have, even if it is a large job. Maybe you own a business downtown and you got the entire floor to yourself. You have multiple restrooms. They can come in and they can fix any problems that you might have. Go to the website, centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
or online at williamsoni.com.
T-Bob here for St. Vincent de Paul. Make a donation that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture that you can no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation can get you a tax deduction. Go to svdpbr.org.
Recent surveys show nearly 9 out of 10 adults consider the holiday season to be the most stressful time of the year. For those suffering from mental health, substance use, or depression, the stress of the season can take an even greater toll. If you or someone you care about is experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, the Bridge Center for Hope is here to help. We are open 24/7, no referral needed. The Bridge Center for Hope, always open, always here. For more information, visit brbridge.org.
Did you know it takes an average of 10 to 12 years for a cigarette to decompose? Well, that's Leo, and we want you to know that tossing a cigarette on the ground is hazardous to your pets and the environment, and it's unsightly. Please dispose of cigarette butts properly for the safety of all pets and wildlife. Together, we can brighten up Baton Rouge. For more information, visit brightenupbatonrouge.com. Thanks, Leo. That's brightenupbatonrouge.com.
Have you ever wanted to get rid of your bathtub you never use and have a beautiful shower installed? Well, let me tell you about one contractor in our area who's the absolute best, One Bath and Closets. They'll come in, remove the fiberglass tub that's wasting space, and put in a beautiful shower that reclaims that square footage. You've never had a better shower. Get a quote now by calling 408,005. That's 408,005 or online at onebathandclosets.com. 225-400-8005.
Cut through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Jamie Levine. And in Donaldsonville, call Matt LeBlanc.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Sandgrove, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Special start time. We will be on from 10 until noon for this show only. Live at Lunch, 10 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into OTB. We thought Taylor had something to add to our last conversation, but he was sending us disconcerting signals, I think.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that's what I was told. Well, Connor Stallions over here.
Yeah, we heard disconcerting signals for like 3 or 4 straight weeks, every game. And that's what refs do. They'll get something.
Offensive offsides now.
Exactly. Like, that's what it is now. Like, I heard offensive offsides in a game on Sunday. I'm like, you SOBs.
Well,
y'all have never called that before. Now you're like, oh, he called it?
Well, and now they're coming
this.
after Jason Kelsey for moving the ball up, which every center ever has always done, always.
Well, so
for the entirety of football history.
Broadcast, I didn't really think he moved it that much. I mean, it looked like he just like bobbled it to get a better grip. And then Aikman's in the booth. He's like, he moved it a full 1.5 yards forward. I was like, I didn't see that.
Did he say 1.5 yards or half yard?
He said half a yard. But
I
still.
mean, it functionally is. It's close to half a yard, but I mean, it's not like it's just kind of what you do. You get the ball and you make it look like you're just propping it up, but you just scoot it up a little bit.
I was like, it didn't really look.
It's not a big deal. Plus, you got to put the ball backwards before you go forwards anyway. I don't know, dude. It's just crazy to me that, like, I don't know why why is everybody so hung up on the tush push? Who cares? it's just a QB sneak, Mr. Cowboys fan, as you lick your lips and prepare to rebut. It's just a QB sneak.
Another
Get over yourself.
No, my question is, why do they want to ban this play?
Exactly.
Because they're good at it? I mean,
yes.
Because they're like, well, we got to ban this play. Why? Were people getting hurt at a higher level during that play? I haven't seen that. Like, just because someone's good at a play, you're going to ban it? Like, if I was an Eagles fan, I'd be really mad if they banned that play next year. They shouldn't. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of concern about it being, potential for injury, but I haven't seen too much of that.
That's what I'm
season.
saying. Like, what injuries?
They do it in rugby all the time.
They want it to be potential for injury.
That's what I'm saying.
But there is none, so they're trying to find an angle to make it illegal. I think it's insane. I do not understand what the problem is at all. Like, it's so funny because for 2 decades, all of us drinking beer and watching the game of television have yelled, just sneak it in every inches to go situation, right? Like, everybody's always said, just sneak it, just sneak it.
Yeah.
And now finally the team's like, oh, okay, sure. And the NFL's like, oh, no, hold on now, guys. Now, hold on now. What are we doing here? Like, no, like the Eagles are doing what everybody's begged their team to do forever.
Yeah, the word is Goodell doesn't like it. And so if he doesn't like it, as we all know, I mean, he's...
Why, Roger?
Well, that's a lot of questions. Why Roger? But I can see that getting banned. I can see it. Now, how do other teams feel about it? I don't know. I mean, there's not every team does it. It's really just one team that certainly to the level that they do it. And so I can see the NFL coming together because it doesn't affect them, and it maybe it hurts them because the Eagles have done it to them, where they're like, yeah, no, we're going to vote against it.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I don't know. Bilbo says, remember when Kenny Pickett did the fake slide and they banned that immediately? Well, look, even though that was probably one of my 10 favorite plays of all time.
Oh, so good.
That is a player safety issue. Like, that's a little too unfair to the defense. Where, what if you had Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, take your true running threat quarterback, knowing that was a move that he could practice and then employ. How in the world, like, as a defender, you got to do so much microsecond calculation to be like, is he really sliding? He's not sliding. Do I need to back off? Can I hit him? Like, that actually is unfair to the defense.
I forget which game.
Push is not. It's just football.
I forget which game it was. It might have been the Cowboys-Bills. It's like, if I'm a defender, okay, and I got Dak, who's bigger than most defensive backs running at me, and he's not really started his slide yet, right? But I've got to be careful because if he starts his slide at any point and I go after him, then I'm going to get a penalty if I hit him at any point in this slide. But also, he can duck his head and he can truck me at any point in this. And if I'm on my heels because I'm expecting him to slide and he doesn't and I get trucked, then I get clowned and then I get a negative mark from my coach. And like these quarterbacks that are going like into space and like they're kind of picking and choosing when they slide, like that's tough for a defender.
You know who actually does some of this to great effect is Mahomes when he dances on the sideline.
Yeah.
Where he basically acts like he's going out of bounds, so the defender has to let up because you can't hit him out of bounds, and then he just kind of side shuffles along for like a few extra yards at the end. I feel like he does this constantly. He's like, I know you can't really hit me. And so I'm gonna do everything I can to just maximize how much I can get away with.
I mean, they know exactly what they're going to do. If I'm a quarterback, right, like I don't do the same thing every time. Sometimes I slide, sometimes I try to run over you, and like a quarterback, like not everybody can do that, but certainly these bigger, more physical quarterbacks. By the way, like have you ever seen Taysom Hill slide? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Nope.
Nah, don't happen.
The first time that he slides, he's going to get hit. Obviously, like they're going to hit him as he's going down. Would he get the penalty?
Taysom Hill better not slide. He's not a quarterback. I don't want anybody who's not a quarterback sliding.
Obvious statement, but it's kind of like in the NBA where certain quarterbacks get benefit of the doubt. Like Tommy DeVito somewhat started to slide before Jayden hit him on Sunday, and they did not call a penalty. Some QBs.
I do not. But yes, yes.
100% they're getting that call. Some QBs.
Yeah, that's the old NBA thing.
Yeah.
You haven't earned that call yet. Tommy Cutlitz doesn't get protected in the way that Pat Mahomes does, and that makes sense. Also, I think under the strictest interpretation of the rule, though, that was not a flag. It was a late slide, hit him in the head. He, you could even, if you wanted to, you could even argue that he kind of tried to avoid him and then he just hit him in the back. It did look hilarious, though, watching his head bounce off the turf and him like laid out like he was dead.
Tua from last year will always be kind of the image of that.
Yeah.
With
That was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just a sack, though.
Yeah.
That was just Tua trying to extend a play and then getting thrown on the ground. That one was weird because it still didn't look like his head hit that hard, but obviously it did.
His brain did against his skull. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, boys, remember that analytic chart that we smashed Pete Carmichael for, where it clearly showed that he was the worst in the NFL? He's up to 25 in the NFL per that analytical metric.
Oh,
so
nice.
again, like Underhill said yesterday, credit where credit's due. It's still awful, but it is no longer the worst in the league. Arthur Smith is now an all-time outlier bad from a offensive, not all-time, but he is an outlier bad this year from offensive play caller situation.
There's no surprise there. If you watched any of their games, and Memphis was watching Panthers-Falcons a little bit this weekend.
Wow, he's a real one.
He is a real one. I mean, he is invested. I'm like, man, they're going for their second win. Then we're almost in the playoffs. It was some bad football because the Panthers obviously Panthers are good on defense and their offense is atrocious as well, but it was just bad play after bad play.
Yeah,
the weather didn't do them any favors, but I don't think it mattered.
I mean, are we dumb? Why isn't Bijan getting more carries? I don't care. Do your thing, Atlanta. Doesn't matter.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it just like you're doing it.
Exactly. All right, when we get back, now let's get into some college football Pirtle news coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyota of batonrouge.com. So you may think, Jake, when I've been talking about the body shop lately, you may think that I'm just talking about Toyotas. No. All makes and models are welcome at the All-Star Body Shop. Very conveniently located on Airline and Goodwood. Lifetime warranty on the work. Free estimates, okay? And the process, the text updates that they give you throughout, you stay fully abreast of the situation. No big decisions are made without you making them. Insurance claims are welcome. They got the shuttle service to drop you off where you need to go, pick you back up. If it's a long fix and you need a rental car, Miss Lee's Sessions got you right there on site. Most important part, they're monitoring this. So if you're taking your car in, let them know so you can help other boys. Mention OTB, T-Bob, Hester, ESPN, any of that, you get $100 towards your deductible, okay? So check out the All-Star Toyota Body Shop today, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
RP on new 23 Ford Expedition. $15,000 off new Ford Expedition. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is #1, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West on the Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels, and we get closer to National Signing Day. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. All the bench rolling right along. So, big news for the UGA Bulldogs, Jake. Carson Beck is returning to Georgia for 2024. This is the correct decision for both parties. Beck needs another year of seasoning. He would have been a day 2 pick, maybe even rose to a first-round pick. Like, I could have seen that. But I don't know that I believe. And the Alabama game looms large, right? Like, that was going to be the test. He did not play well. It was his chance to prove that he could take over. He did the opposite with that crucial fumble that ends up being the difference in the game. So he gets another year of seasoning. He's going to make at least, $1-2 million. Maybe he even got the 4 that he was looking for, right? You stay in a situation where you're the big man on campus. You potentially become even the number 1 overall pick, depending on how you play next year. So it makes all the sense in the world for him. And then for Georgia, you now no longer have to worry about doing like a Band-Aid quarterback situation. You return your QB1. You'll be great again as well. So big for both parties, as I said.
Yeah, I still think there's things that he knows he needs to work on.
Yeah.
And I know it was trending in the right direction, but the Alabama game was the last time that we saw him, and it was against a really good defense, certainly the best defensive backfield that he's played against. And he did not have the problem. He did not have the best day. Like the ceiling obviously is very high because he's a starting quarterback at Georgia. And I know Aaron was like SEC champion, national champion, Heisman front runner, first-round pick. And, yeah, when you're the starter at Georgia, all those things are available to you. I still think there needs to be some growth. I think he was better than I thought he would be this year because it was a great unknown. There's still things in his game that he needs to improve on, but also
the whole Georgia offense just needs to be more explosive, more dynamic.
That's exactly where I was going. There needs to be better weapons around him.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at receiver, like running backs, Georgia's always going to have running backs, and they've got a slew of them, but are any of them game changers that can take over a game by themselves? Like Kendall Milton at times can be that guy, but he's kind of disappeared at times as well. The receiver room, like Ladd McConkey's a good player, and Ladd McConkey will play.
Is he our wide receiver 4?
Probably. He'll play in the NFL. There's no doubt. He'll play in the NFL. And Brock Bowers, he'll play a long time in the NFL, and Brock Bowers was their most explosive
you're
weapon.
Out. Bowers, get your ass in there.
So, like, what are they going to put around him? Because I think he needs more weapons around him if he wants to do all those things that Aaron thinks he can do.
I agree. But it makes sense for him to return. Now, ancillary effect, or maybe this would have happened either way, It's official. Dylan Raiola has officially committed to Nebraska, boys. Flips from UGA. The Corn Hub is hotter than ever. And this dude's a warrior monk. I know that the poem that he posted with his commitment, a lot of people are making fun of. In fact, I want to do a dramatic reading of the poem when we get back, but I want to have some music underneath it. I forgot about that, so we'll get that in during the break. And everyone's clowning him. But when I look at Dylan Raiola's social media, Jake, I see a dangerous man. Every single post is basically a picture of him playing football with an applicable Bible verse over the top. And why I call him dangerous is because dangerous is the man who has full unself-conscious belief, and that is Dylan Raiola. He believes in himself. He has a purpose that is driven externally, and I think he's going to have a ton of success in Nebraska.
It is wild that we are sitting here on the eve of National Signing Day, because that's what the early signing period is, even if they don't want to tag it that. And because of the transfer portal, like we're talking about a couple of names here and there, just remember, I mean, the Bayou Bash. And I was telling Mario and Taylor, we used to do like a CST live, like big production show from the River Center. And it was the biggest deal. Like it was huge. It was massive. And like it was setting up for your future, and you were going to learn the names of guys you're going to be cheering for in the next 3 or 4 seasons. And now it's like another day.
Yeah, it's because, well, I mean, look, the portal's infinitely more exciting. You know the players you're getting. How many times have you fallen in love with some high school recruit only to him just to never mean anything to you? And
or
so
be
it's
a
like,
5-star guy, and you're like, who did he steal those other 4 stars
from? Yeah, that's
from?
what I'm saying. Just like, okay, whatever. Just rank high in the team rankings, and then I'll learn later who I should cheer for and be excited about, right? Like, I'm much more interested in – now, Dylan Raiola is one of the few who's going to break through, but, like, I'm much more interested in Dante Moore choosing to go to Oregon along with Dylan Gabriel. Like, that's way more fascinating than another 4-star quarterback committing somewhere. All right, when we get back, let's wrap up this hour talking about that Oregon story I just mentioned, and a dramatic reading of Dylan Raiola's commitment poem. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find him on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service, or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
Acadiana, for over 56 years of allowing Corval Toyota in Opelousas to take care of you and your automotive needs. Enjoy this holiday season with family and friends. From the Corval Toyota family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll get you an LSU practice report, and Saints getting ready to head out west, take on the Rams. We'll have the latest 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, give me some poem music here. Let me hear it for a second, see what I'm thinking about. About to read Dylan. Okay, here we go. Yeah. This is Dylan Rayola's, nice job, Mark. This is Dylan Rayola's commitment poem. In the realm of college dreams, where purpose takes flight, enter Dylan Raiola, crafting his narrative in the night. Once lured by Georgia, where powerhouse glory gleamed, yet Nebraska's purpose in his heart brightly beamed. In the scarlet and cream, where legacies entwine, Dylan, like Rogers, Rozier, and Crouch, a hero in the line. No longer a cog in some powerhouse machine, but a quarterback with an even grander ambition unseen. So fellow fans await with hope in the air for Dylan to choose, his purpose to declare. In a weekend's decision, destiny calls to fulfill his purpose where a new dynasty enthralls. Wow, boys. That's a national championship right there, boys. That's a reborn program right there. That is Matt Rule year 2 taken to a new level. That last line, to fulfill his purpose where a new dynasty enthralls in Lincoln, Nebraska. In the cornfields where the shadows lie. I'm excited. I think he means way more to Nebraska than he ever would have meant to Georgia.
There's a legacy there. His pops, his uncle's on the staff now.
Also, if he's actually
and
good.
And you can turn around a program that when I was growing up, I didn't think they'd ever lose a game. I watched them.
Yeah.
Sorry, CD. I watched them in a Fiesta Bowl in a national championship game name their score against Florida when nobody was doing that against Florida.
Daniel Blunt says, okay, dude, here's the deal. I use ChatGPT. I can tell, but I still applaud him. I don't think he wrote this, to be clear. This is obviously something that somebody else wrote, and it just spoke to him. As I said, if you look at his social media, he's a warrior monk. He just constantly reflects on Bible verses and puts them over football images. So I think words speak to him. And I think this poem spoke to how he was feeling about the situation.
Well, you were talking about like the program that's being built in Nebraska. I think it was Hayes Fawcett or somebody yesterday posted that he's the first 5-star quarterback in the modern ranking era to go to Nebraska.
Yeah, absolutely. You kidding me? Because Matt Rule's a G, and now Matt Rule can spend money, and you can get kids to go to Lincoln, and Nebraska has buy-in. Did you see I think it's called like the 1810 Club or whatever. It's their booster. It's their collective. Their collective has an office building that looks like it would be like a football operations building. Like it's crazy. What they have going on up there. So this is potentially huge for Nebraska. Though I don't know that anybody has had a better couple days in Oregon, as Dante Moore, leaving UCLA, commits to Oregon yesterday. Very interesting choice from Moore, given that it's starkly different from the one he made in high school, in which he was committed to Oregon. Bo Nix ends up committing. Moore leaves, goes to UCLA because he wants to play, plays, kind of gets humbled by the game a little bit, and now is like, you know what? I know Dylan Gabriel's going there, but that's okay. I'll go see. And apparently they both understand the assignment. Like they both know where they fall, like in what their roles are. I'm going to go back him up for a year, learn, get seasoned, and then I'll take over in 2025.
Yeah, and so he initially, because Bo Nix decided to come back for another year, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah, because Bo Nix had a really good year
yes.
for Oregon, and when he decided to come back, that's when he's like, well, no, I'm going to go play. And you're right. Like, he did get humbled. And UCLA went through a couple of quarterbacks, but he realized, I am not ready. And good on him. Good on this young man
agree.
for, knowing and
know thyself.
Accepting and understanding, like, for my future down the road, the best thing for me to do right now is to go learn under Dylan Gabriel. And if Dylan Gabriel goes down, I'll be ready to go.
And how about the job that Dan Lanning's doing? Like, I know Oregon wasn't ready to beat Washington this year, but it does feel like maybe in terms of who's most set up to be a consistent power in the future, I give a slight edge to Oregon. This is just perfect quarterback management. You get an immediate, really good guy for next year. You lay the track for the future. Great job by Lanning. Hour 3 coming up next. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, December 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 63. If you miss hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz at Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hour number 3 of OTB. Ashley Megan says, who's more? Dante Moore was an old 5-star quarterback. I think he was the number 2 quarterback in the class a couple years ago. Big-time recruit. He played for UCLA this year, did okay at the beginning. Then I think he threw a pick 6 in like 3 games in a row or something.
He started throwing to the other team.
The Utah, and his stats aren't awful. They're kind of A.J. Swan-like, actually. Hold on, I have his stats somewhere in this document. 53%, 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's just through the air. He's also a runner. So, like, there's a lot of potential there. How much, Gulf South says, how much is he getting paid to go to Oregon? I'm sure he has a nice deal. I do love, we talk about Dylan Rollo committing to Nebraska. I love that basically Matt Rule was just out there like 2 weeks ago being like, hey, boosters, if we want a guy, we got to spend like $2 million. So, like, there's a very good chance that that Raiola's making some pretty good money. So Malachi Nelson, the former number 1 quarterback overall, number 1 player in the country actually, who is committed to Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. Riley goes to USC. He follows Riley there. He was on the team this year. He said, I'm cool with sitting behind Caleb Williams. He's the best in the country. Hell yeah. But he's transferring out of USC. And we talked about SC earlier. Since they were 11-1 on the night of that Pac-12 championship game, they're 7-7 since. 7-5 this year, 5-4 in the Pac-12. So it's been bad. However, if there is one thing that I trust Lincoln Riley with, it's scouting quarterbacks. And apparently, from reading USC beat writers
Scouting
and whatnot,
quarterbacks out of high school or the portal?
Well, I just mean sorry, not scouting. Judging a quarterback and what he thinks his ceiling is. And so reportedly, Malachi Nelson was the third string guy. And he's behind Miller Moss, who's going to start the bowl game. And he wasn't going to start the bowl game. And so if Lincoln Riley had this guy.
Miller Moss was a high recruit.
Yeah, he was as well.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if Lincoln Riley had this guy in the program for a year, and he's kind of judging him to, be the I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't lose too much sleep over. And I know it's a big kind of brand or image hit that Malachi Nelson is leaving, but and that's the other part. Lincoln Riley's portal shopping. He's going to get Will Howard.
From K-State. Yeah, that's been basically done for weeks.
Yes.
Now it hasn't been announced.
And so we're seeing interesting, and then you compare to some other cases, Jake, and you see that quite simply Lincoln Riley just didn't believe Malachi Nelson was the guy. Because what's Tennessee doing with Iam Leva? They're committed to him. He is going to be the starter next year.
Yeah.
Oklahoma just essentially ran off Dylan Gabriel for Jackson Arnold. If they believed that Malachi Nelson was going to be the guy, they would not be out there shopping for Will Howard. And so Malachi Nelson, despite whatever his high school rankings were, Lincoln Riley's basically telling you through his actions, maybe he's wrong, but he's basically telling you through his actions that he doesn't believe that he's just a guaranteed success next season and he needs insurance and really needs, not insurance, he's still looking for a starter.
No, this isn't like him losing Nelson. Because quarterback is a different beast in the transfer portal. It's not red flags. Red flags for me is he's got 20 players in the portal, multiple starters on defense, and who's he going to replace them? Because it's a bad defense, obviously. Who are you going to replace those players with? Because you've brought in 2 players, you got 20 leaving. And we know, right now, in the high school recruiting rankings, you're not going to bring in guys that are going to be ready to play. And so this late into the portal game, as we sit here on December the 19th, you've got about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks left in this portal cycle. Who can you bring in to be able to shore up all the things that you're losing? That's going to be the question for USC.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I do love the defensive hires, though. Getting is it Danton Lynn, the DC from UCLA, getting North Dakota State's former head coach to be your associate head coach. That's the guy who knows how to win. He brings program building knowledge. He brings toughness, grit. He's going to be your linebackers coach. They hired the former Houston DC as well. So, I feel like they've done a good job there. I don't know. Maybe this max exodus is kind of what you need. A trimming of the fat. A kind of, maybe they got too involved in glitz and glamour and star chasing and wrong type of personalities. I don't know. But certainly it was a disastrous year, too, for Lincoln Riley. And again, the reason why I'm bringing this up on this show is because I think some very similar dynamics are in play for LSU here in year number 3, where Lincoln Riley erased all the goodwill of year 1. And despite the fact that Brian Kelly won the West in year 1, beat Alabama, and now won a Heisman in year 2, everything's on the line here in year 3 in terms of belief going forward. And we'll see if he can manage to manage it better than Lincoln Riley did.
The quarterback portal market is very interesting. And so, if you're trying to find somebody, if you're USC, to compete with Miller, I don't know that player is still out there right now. And it was a very healthy quarterback room, which is so hard to have now in college football, because we're starting to see, everybody's getting snatched up, even guys that maybe aren't going to be the starter, like Swan going from Vanderbilt to LSU. Mitch Griffiths, who started at Wake Forest last year, he's already committed to Marshall. You've got Will Rogers. He's going to Washington. So big move for Will Rogers. Kyle McCord's going to Syracuse, which surprised a lot of people. All these quarterbacks now are finding their landing spot. The only
Syracuse
quarterback
is so hot right now.
They're getting a ton of Georgia players. Obviously, with Fran Brown being the DB coach there. Chandler Morris is in the open market now. He's on the open market at TCU.
They got Elijah Robinson to be the DC as well up there in Syracuse. Sorry, who's Chandler Morris?
From TCU. Remember, he was the starter. Max Duggan came in when he got hurt. And so, he's out there. KJ Jefferson is finally, officially now in the transfer portal. So there's a couple of names. But if you need a quarterback right now, or if you want to add quarterback depth, it is not easy because, and that's why Malik Murphy went into the portal and is going to miss a college football playoff semifinal.
Yeah.
Because all these jobs are getting snatched up. And like for Malik Murphy, like we still got like DJU is still in the portal. You still got Cam Ward and some of those players like Miami and Florida State they're attached to. Like Malik Murphy right now, the prediction's Duke. And I'm sure that he didn't probably think Duke was the landing spot when he entered the portal.
Duke post Mike Elko?
Manny Diaz.
Oh, okay.
Top defense in the country. It was a Big Ten, so we've talked about that. But
like, Miami wanted to crap all over Diaz and crown Cristobal, but Diaz was better than Cristobal.
Yeah.
So, okay. Like, I kind of see that a little bit. Cell of Awareness says, T-Bob, the difference is that, and I think he means Riley cut out Grinch, but that Grinch cut out the cancer at DC. He means, Riley getting rid of Grinch. Well, in my comparison of USC to LSU, the problem with Riley was not cutting out before the season, and that's exactly what LSU's going right now. So the timeline is off by a year, but that's how I'm lining it up. So, like, no, if this was to play out like it played out for Lincoln Riley, you would keep your staff, have a bad year next year, and then make the decision. And absolutely, so Jamie in the chat's asking, should LSU pursue Tackett Curtis? I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Duh. What do you mean? I mean, that's a very good player at a position of need, but I just don't know that it's a tough sell to want to come to LSU in the transfer portal right now defensively. There's all kinds of swirling rumors about who the assistant coaches are going to be. Hell, there's even swirling rumors about the DC still. Like, nothing seems set in stone. Like, if you're in the transfer portal, Jake, you want to land in a kind of solid, known situation. You're looking for stability so you can play. Flux, things being in flux is very unattractive to somebody in the portal. So I think that's why you're seeing LSU struggle on that side of the ball.
Yeah, if you have uncertainty, like these players don't know who they're playing for, potentially. They don't know what their role is going to be because the coaches that are in place might not be there. And so the role could change. Because if I'm a, whatever position, if I'm a one shade and you don't play as much one shade and I'm a defensive lineman and that's not where you're going to go, well, why would I commit to you? If I'm a certain type of linebacker that within this type of defense I would thrive because I'm a 3-3-5 linebacker, but like, whatever the situation might be, like how can I commit to you? I would just, at that point, I would just be committing to the school and the logo and the brand of LSU and not the scheme and the fit for me personally.
And which in the business decision that is a transfer decision, you don't really commit to the brand. Like, yes, winning and all that matters, but high school commits really commit to the brand.
Maybe a guy from the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like you can see, like if it was Tackett Curtis and Brian Kelly tried to make up the ground in his recruitment, but it was a little too late when Brian Kelly took that recruitment over. Remember we talked about that, obviously, and linked whenever it was happening. Like maybe because you've already kind of had this foundation that you started to build in the recruiting process. He's from Louisiana. Then then you can recruit to the brand. But outside of that, it's tough.
But that's like DeCamarion Richardson.
Yeah.
The corner from Mississippi State yesterday that we talked about. He's from Louisiana.
He's from Bossier, yeah.
I'm sure he would have loved committing to the brand. But things are too in flux. He doesn't know what he's committing to. So he can't. So what does he do? He leaves Mississippi and he goes to Ole Miss, which that's got to hurt in its own right. Though with Jeff Lebby, I don't know how much they're going to care about defense anymore. I mean, he literally in his open press conference was like, we're going to score points. I mean, I don't know if we're going to win, but we're going to score points. So, hell yeah. I mean, again, in the transfer portal, it's playing time, money. These are the main deciding factors. Ole Miss is all in monetarily on creating this team. Boys, how about that famous Toastery Bowl yesterday?
It's pretty famous. 21-0 ODU, and then here comes Western Kentucky.
It actually got to 28-0, I think.
No, I was doing a show.
Yeah, no, I didn't. To be clear, I did not watch it until I saw social media start popping off at the end.
Like the way my office is set up at home, I do have a TV like right behind my Zoom setup, my camera or whatever, so I can kind of eye hustle some of these games. And I did see it at 21-0. I didn't know it got to 28.
It's the biggest comeback since 2015. There's been 109 games since the last time this happened where a team got down 28-0 and everybody lost. And then Western Kentucky with their third-string quarterback. Shout out Caden Veltkamp. Didn't even start the game. Turner Helton, who's actually Clay Helton's son.
Yeah.
Rough couple days in bowl season for the Heltons. Georgia Southern gets dominated by Ohio. Clay's son Turner gets the start. Couple first-quarter turnovers. They put in Veltkamp. He goes 40 of 52, 383, 5 touchdowns, and completes a 28-point comeback dub in overtime.
11 of 11 or something crazy like that. Like as soon as he came in, he was on fire.
What a win for Famous Toastery. I'd never heard of that before in my entire life.
Yes. Like when I said it, I'm like, am I saying this right? Famous Toastery Bowl.
Apparently, I looked it up. It's an all-day breakfast franchise. I don't know if it's good or not.
I can get behind that, though.
But
I mean, it must be pretty good if you're doing a bowl game.
That's good advertising. Yeah, I mean, no, they've been very successful on the East Coast. But it's it kind of got into a weird Famous Toastery hole. But
now I need to check this out.
Like whenever they open a new location, the first 2 days of profits go to a local nonprofit. Which, just a way of engaging with the community. I was like, oh, that's cool. So this is the point, though, right? Well, this is why you sponsor a bowl game. You hope to get a gym that catches on social media, and then all of a sudden we're talking about Famous Toastery. Because it's a very funny name and something that we've never heard of before.
Yeah, and they played it in Charlotte, but not at the Panther Stadium, at the University of Charlotte. Charlotte University. I don't actually know which one it is, but they played it at this smaller stadium, so the crowd was kind of popping a little bit.
That's smart. That's very smart. Sometimes those big empty stadiums can kind of suck the juice out a little bit.
Like the Panthers game on Sunday, even though they won the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was its own.
I mean, this is like literally like South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and a couple of locations like in Maryland.
Yeah.
Like it's not very.
And look at him now. We're talking about him in Baton Rouge.
No, it's not very wide.
I'd put it to the test.
I mean, they must be balling. Must be serving a lot of French toast.
Yeah, all day breakfast. People love all day breakfast.
I mean, I do. Open only 7 a.m. until 3 p.m.
There you go.
So all day doesn't even really mean all day.
No, that's true.
Just some of the day.
Well, I mean, you're not going to get too much of a breakfast or dinner crowd.
I mean, I love breakfast for dinner.
I do love breakfast for dinner. Me as well. Even though my kids think it's anathema. They can't wrap their head around it. They never want it. Because they're like, no, it's not breakfast time. It's dinner time. I'm like, wait, well, but this is like a fun thing. Like, bacon, egg, sausage, pancakes.
Y'all are going to make fun of me, but the Burger King in Guatemala, and I think in all Latin America, serves breakfast all day. So you can get whatever you want, like lunch-wise, burger-wise, and still get hash browns.
Burger King sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, which is something special, bro.
I just love the hash browns from BK. They're the best.
Bro, I'm looking at this menu. It's pretty legit.
Really?
Famous Toastery. Who would have known?
What you know about them bow rounds from Bojangles? You ever had a bow round?
I've never been to Bojangles.
Is that the
they're like Burger King
blueberry?
No, the Bowberry biscuits are really good.
Those.
Really good. No, the bow round is just like a Burger King hash brown, but bigger and thicker. So like bigger circles of hash brown. That sounds
really good.
It's very, very good.
Man, Bojangles is bomb.
Daniel Basham says all working day. I'll work till 5, so it's not my all working day, Daniel.
Okay, yeah. I think
what is that? All day breakfast to me means Waffle House.
All working. Yeah, no, that's
all right.
That you're right. That is true.
7 to 3 is all working day.
That is true. That is true.
I start work at 7, but I don't finish till 5.
Wow. Bakery sandwiches and hash browns straight fire. I agree, but they really greasy, but they are so good. They're so good. I used to get that double croissant sandwich, double sausage. Now the only breakfast I eat is Simple Joe's. Shut up.
Just give this man sponsorship at this point. Simple
Did
Joe's.
I tell you the story of
like
what?
This man has literally given you more advertising.
I was talking to Sean the other day, the owner operator, and did I tell you this on air about what it was originally supposed to be?
Nope.
I don't think so.
He opened it to be a coffee shop and fine chocolate shop. Apparently, and this is a man who's worked a ton of different jobs, military vet, doesn't have any true culinary education, and he makes apparently really fine artisanal chocolates. But the location was a bit too humid. And so as he was making the chocolates, you could get the taste right.
Really?
But you couldn't get the aesthetics right because the humidity would affect how it all comes together, like the science of it. So all of a sudden, he's a month in, he's got loans. He's like, I got to switch it up. He goes home and writes a business plan, creates a breakfast spot out of thin air, and then just nails it. And now it's like, again, because the beauty of Simple Joe's is that it's just a very classic, simple menu just done to perfection. Like, it's high quality ingredients, very good food. Like, the food is delicious. It's not, there's no gimmicks, no frills. And it was all by the necessity. You know, necessity is the mother of innovation or invention, whatever the saying is. I thought that was fascinating.
It is. I need to go try it out. Can't
believe you've never been. You got to go on the weekend. If you like biscuits and gravy.
I do.
I get it every single Saturday.
But again, y'all need to sponsor this man.
Over easy egg. Over easy. Get a half order. Get a full order, but this can be a lot, even though it's so cheap. But you get a half order of the biscuits and gravy, the over easy egg on top. Whew, boy. Absolutely amazing. All right. When we get back, we got more football talk, and then I do want to get to. We're gonna play that Song of Purple and Gold throwback as well as Kirby Dum Dum tries to entrap the Swamp King. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Wait till you learn how to cook, T-Bob. Bilbo, who the hell are you talking to? Shut up. You're my boy, but sit down. Get Gordon, get it done. You need somebody who's going to fight for you. Don't be scared of those insurance companies. Gordon will get it done for you. You get in an accident, you get Gordon. 225-888-8888. Really good social media post on Instagram yesterday, starting to give away the bikes for the big Gordon bike giveaway. In the spirit of the holiday season, making Christmas so special. You follow him on social media at Get Gordon. You watch Sit Down with your favorite athletes that are members of the G team. Get Gordon, get it done. Get Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys.
Yeah, once you go to that website, you can find a list of cases they can handle for you, past client results like we tell you every single day, but also like T-Bob mentioned, social media at Get Gordon. It's going to be the handle on all major social media. There you can see everything that they're doing, not only in the courtroom, but in the community as well. And if you want to pick up the phone and give them a call, remember, anywhere in the state of Louisiana, from North Louisiana, South Louisiana, everywhere in between, your area code followed by 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infinity Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs.
Sandgrove, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Special start time. We will be on from 10 until noon for this show only. Live at Lunch, 10 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
With Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. We forgot to do it earlier, so let's do it now. A little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. What is Jake's ideal all-day breakfast?
Oh, that's a great question. I am like French toast, waffle, pancakes, something like that.
Sweet.
Like that's going to be the biggest thing on my plate, but also like I'm going to get a side of breakfast sausage for sure.
Yeah,
I go breakfast sausage actually over bacon.
I agree. I've always been a sausage over bacon guy. For me, it's always a sausage and cheese biscuit. Just so good.
Yeah, I've always been more sweet when it comes to breakfast brunch.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I love pancakes, but
yeah.
What's the one?
Which by the way, after that last segment,
I know
that will be happening today.
I'm so hungry.
There will be a brunch had today somehow, some way.
I'm finishing off a pot roast from Sunday, but maybe later. Hashtag mailbag. What was one gift you never got as a kid but always wanted?
I mean, I'm spoiled. I don't know how my parents found a way because it ain't like we were balling by any means.
Yeah.
But they always found a way. Certainly my mom, my mom's a gift giver for sure.
I agree. I mean, I don't have any like big, I mean, as I got a little older, I always wanted a gaming PC, but at that point I kind of aged out of where my parents were going to like get me like something like, you know, like when you're a kid and you say you want this, your parents do like almost anything they can to make it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shout out to my mom and stepdad. They also kind of got me everything I wanted. I'd like to publicly apologize for not taking care of that electric scooter that I wanted so bad. They worked really hard to get me that, and it lasted like 3 months. But yeah, hashtag blessed.
Busted.
Yeah, it's the way of the road, bubs. I left my bike at the playground and got it stolen, so that's that's on me.
Jetpack inside the Body 4 chat. G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. That was
huge.
A baller move if you had one of those. It was big deal.
Taylor, you have anything?
I was very blessed growing up. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where I was like, I have to have this and didn't. I mean, my parents did a very good job. So.
Hey, I wonder if it's harder nowadays because electronics are so much more expensive than like what toys used to be, but I don't know.
I'm looking like right now at the G.I. Joe the aircraft carrier, like those things right now. If you have one in the box, like on eBay, $3,000,
damn,
2,500, like even like just pieces of, like just one little piece of it's $315 if you're trying to like put it back together.
I read that Tonka trucks used to be made of pure steel. It's probably so tight to have a steel bulldozer compared to the plastic Tonkas that we have now. Sleep with, marry, kill. Cider, eggnog, hot toddy. I would marry eggnog, sleep with a hot toddy, and kill cider. I have never craved cider once in my life.
I've never. All three can go.
I would marry
eggnog around the holidays pretty good.
Man, all three can go.
I would marry the hottie toddy. Very useful for broadcasters and just if your throat is bothering you.
I guess that's a good point.
Classic Ole Miss cuck.
Howdy.
Actually, no, I'm going to change my answer too, though. I would marry the hot toddy, and then I would sleep with eggnog and kill cider.
Okay, so I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna marry eggnog because I love eggnog.
Yeah,
you do love, but you like cider too.
I'm gonna sleep with the cider and I'm gonna kill the hot toddy.
Damn.
I'm gonna go a little different.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. What is the elite cold weather cocktail? I'm not a big cocktail guy. I don't know. I just drink liquor with ice generally. So I don't know. But I mean, around this time of the year, I just think a couple glasses of your, like, whatever, bourbon, whiskey, scotch, whatever you're into, any dark liquor just hits so well with a lit up Christmas tree and a movie on the screen. Oof. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What's the OTB take on Randy Livingston being suspended for a year by LHSAA? Will he end up moving on to college? I have no idea on the situations. I can't speak to
Newman
it.
basketball coach, LSU basketball legend.
No, I mean, I know like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to broad, like, you know.
Yes.
I think it was a recruiting violation, and so they've got. I think they might have to. Mario, you might know more than I do, being in high school.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed on this story, unfortunately. But question, OTB mailbag, when y'all were in school, do y'all think high school sports was kind of as corrupt and sketchy as it is now in terms of like the recruiting and the illegal recruiting and guys getting suspended?
I just can't get any passion going for, like, I don't care.
I can't either.
Go ahead and recruit. I don't care.
Just feel like we see coaches get in trouble these days way more than the last 20 years or so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, everybody just let him recruit. Whatever.
Shout out Randy.
Just let him recruit, Bo.
He was a beast player.
He was a beast player.
Hashtag go to me, like, when eating, do you keep your food separated or do you mix everything up and eat it? Well, you know me.
T-Bob's the KFC bowl mixer.
Mix it all. I want one giant amalgamated pile of slop. Like, I would thrive as a pig eating out the trough. Just dump it all in there.
So I haven't done this before, but I took the yolk from my Sunnyside up eggs and ate it with my hash browns at IHOP, and it was really good.
Did you do it on purpose that time?
I swear to God, if you do it again.
Are you pulling my leg here?
I made an effort to say
there's two things
okay,
there.
Okay, you did do it on purpose
Okay, that makes it better. So we'll take that away. So only one more thing.
Wait, how in the hell are you just
I was about to
yes.
say, of course.
Mixing
Of
yolk.
course you do that.
My grandma used to call it dipping the bread eggs.
Yes.
Mixing yolks with hash browns is like, that's day one
I
stuff.
Day one. Install day one, 2030 ISO.
It's going to mess with the pepper and ketchup flavors in the hash browns, or so I thought.
Oh, well, you putting ketchup up.
Oh,
up
well,
in there
hold on
too
now,
before.
hold on now.
Well, you're kind of going to do one or the other a lot of times. You're going to put ketchup on the hash browns, or you're going to put the egg.
I could do it all.
I mean, I could do it all.
I would do that. Yes, I would do like to form a Triforce, where I would have hash browns with ketchup, my Sunnyside egg yolk here, and then hash browns without ketchup here. And then I'm going to combine them all three in different silos. So I'm getting different flavor combinations from each one.
I'm taking notes.
So my family picks on me about this a little bit. Now, every now and then I'll mix my food. For the most part, not only do I separate my food, but if we're at a restaurant, I eat one item all the way through, and then I move on to the next one. I do.
Of course.
Like if I'm
Lego man.
If I'm sitting there, like I'll take if I get like burger and fries.
Yes.
I'll take a sip of the drink, eat the entire burger, little bit of drink, then the fries.
I do not. I just
When
cannot.
I go to Piccadilly, I do that.
cannot fathom this.
When I go to Piccadilly, I do actually
they give you the
eat
different. They
each
give you the
item,
different.
they give you different
bowls.
plates.
Yeah.
So I go each item at
You know, like
Piccadilly.
to jump back and forth and like be like, ooh, this tastes good. Now, ooh, this tastes good.
Well,
and I'm going to put both in my mouth at the same time. And then I'm going to mix a little liquid in.
No, I've got a way I do it at Piccadilly. I get the hamburger steak. I put a couple different things on the hamburger steak, and then I dump the green beans on the same plate that the hamburger steak was actually on. So it's a little bit of a mixture, but I just do it one at a time.
I know. I just don't. I just like to jump back and forth, and I'll save my favorite bite for last. You want to end on a make. but like,
so I'm not alone. I thought it was gonna be alone. There's a couple people
in the
chat
middle of
say
your
they do
fries,
it too.
though. You're not like, man, I wish I had a bite of burger left.
I don't always do it in that order.
But
I'm saying sometimes I may
you get the point.
Sometimes I may eat the fries first and then the
don't like
burger.
this.
I
I
just
don't-
rarely go back and forth. I don't have a specific order. It's just whatever I decide that day to eat first.
I'm somewhere
I eat
in
it, then
between.
move on.
I'm somewhere in between.
Yeah.
I don't like mixing all my food together because then what's the point? It just becomes a mashed potato bowl from KFC.
It's a complex and beautiful flavor.
But no, most
again,
of the time
you
I'm
can mix,
burger
you can
than
mix
fry.
portions, right? That's what I'm saying. So you can keep, that's why I think about the it's like a Venn diagram, 2 circles where only portions of it mix. And then you have on the outside, you still have your base elements. The more Taylor talks, the more I feel like he's the psycho, not Mario. Yeah.
I mean, you just never know, do you?
Okay, that's one thing that all this YouTube hole is teaching me. Like a lot of these
now do I
psycho
want
kids you
Piccadilly?
would think are kind of normal.
Piccadilly order.
We all have secrets, guys.
Piccadilly order.
I need hot sauce on my hash browns. I agree.
Hamburger steak for me, honestly.
Hamburger
So
steak,
good.
fried okra, green beans, add an extra vegetable, carrot souffle with a buttered roll.
I don't go. I haven't been to Piccadilly in nearly 20 years.
Nobody's
so
perfect.
So
I
I'm,
can't speak
I'm
to it, but I
hamburger
would just
steak, green beans, mac and cheese, buttered roll.
Yeah, just switch
and
out
then
one of
whatever
those.
dessert.
I
Switch
like
out
that
one.
y'all go hamburger steak though.
One of those
That's real
veggies are
one.
getting
We
switched
got
up.
fried
Well,
chicken. We got some fried
sometimes-
chicken over there.
Katie gets fried chicken.
Sometimes I've done like the chicken fried steak.
Wait,
Sometimes
so
I'll
it's
mix
a
it up,
buffet
but
though, or you order?
It's cafeteria.
cafeteria
style.
style.
Right? Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought.
Buffet's not. It's cafeteria style. So you go down the line. It's all in front of you.
Here's your main
That's what I
dish.
thought.
and you pick a
3
main dish. You're
sides,
supposed to
pick your
pick 2
dessert.
sides. I pick
Yeah.
3, and then you get a bread.
Yeah.
You get cornbread, roll, whatever.
Garlic
and
bread,
if you're
yeah.
really going ham, you get a dessert.
I always get a dessert when I go. I only do 2 sides though, but I do the dessert.
Shredded potato hash browns or potato chunk hash browns? Shredded. Both are good, but
Y'all
shredded.
gotta stop saying hash
Yeah.
browns.
And now
Right.
I'm never going to say it
That's
any
what I'm
other
saying.
way.
He's got you saying it now. I can't
Yeah, I'm
do
never going to
this.
say it any other way.
It,
All
it,
right.
it makes my skin crawl.
When we get back, more
Of this.
Osh TB. I don't know. More OTB. We're
Osh
going to play
0.0?
Song of Purple and Gold next. C Block OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hurry into your local Acura dealer for the Season of Performance event going on now.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade, time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West on the Tigers, Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels, and we get closer to National Signing Day. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. So, watching Die Hard last night, I was reminded of an old episode of Song of Purple Gold. I think we're going to play one every day during OTB the last hour this week. Celebrate Christmas. Here is, so the setup here. This is the night before the SEC championship when Kirby Dum Dum promised to swear fealty to the Swamp King. Here it is.
Purple and Gold, brought to you by Capital Partners, a full-service lobbying and public relations firm here to remind the good folks of Southeasteros to be prepared, because session is coming.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Christmas has settled upon the kingdom of Louisiana. Following a dominant, undefeated campaign season, the people of Southeasteros recognize the rule of the cast iron throne once again. All save for one. Lord Kirby Dum Dum refuses to acknowledge the sovereignty of the Swamp King. The Dum Dum claims that he is the true heir to the Crimson Emperor, and therefore the rightful ruler of the East. But Lady Rivers carries urgent news from the heart of Athens that may yet solve the problems between the Swamp King and Lord Dum Dum.
Your Grace, it appears that Lord Kirby Dum Dum seeks to sue for peace. After hearing of your total and utter annihilation of Jimbo and the Aggies, he says he now realizes that he too must bend the knee. However, he would prefer to do it in person. He is having a holiday party in your honor, and he wants you there so his people may see your rule is just.
This is most unorthodox. However, I fear my people have seen enough violence. And if this party is the best way to avoid further bloodshed, I shall attend.
Your Grace, I'm not sure that this is a good idea. What if Lord Kirby Dum Dum seeks to lay a trap? After all, he did learn at the feet of Emperor Sabin.
Now, Lady Rivers. It is Christmas, and a new day dawns on Southeasteros. And how else shall I distance myself from the evil iron fist of my predecessor? I would rule my people through love, not fear. I shall attend the party and abide by the Dum-Dum's demands. Ready my carriage. Hours later, the Swamp King finds himself in one of the finest castles in all the world, the ironically named Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Lord Dum-Dum's people have been most welcoming to the Tigers of Louisiana, and by all accounts, everything appears to be going very well. But Lord Dum-Dum himself is nowhere to be found. Having had many drinks thus far, the Swamp King excuses himself to go to the bathroom. While inside, he takes off his boots in order to stretch his weary feet. Suddenly, he hears screams emanating from the Great Hall as Lord Kirby Dum-Dum and his honor guard burst into the hall in full battle armor, swinging swords and striking down a few hapless citizens. As the Swamp King sneaks barefoot behind a tapestry in the hall, Lord Dum-Dum addresses the room. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the Swamp King's greed around Southeasteros, he is about to be taught a lesson in the real use of power. You will be witnesses. Now, where is the Swamp King? Edward James Ogeron Jr., born Bayou Lafourche, 1961, Northwestern GA, 1984, D-line coach Miami, 88-92, head coach Ole Miss, 2005, USC interim head coach, 2013, LSU head coach, 2016 to present. Dum-Dum! The Swamp King emerges from behind the tapestry, his arms raised behind his head. He stares at Lord Kirby, standing at the head of the room, his pudgy hobbit-like silhouette stark against a giant Mercedes-Benz stained glass window. You got me. You betrayed all the ancient customs of hearth and home and human decency, but you got me. Still the cowboy, Swamp King. Louisianians are all alike. Well, this time Billy Cannon does not walk off into the sunset with the Heisman. It's Joe Burrow, bunghole. Prepare to die, Swamp King. Yippee-ki-yay, Kirby Dum-Dum! The Swamp King brings his hands from behind his back, revealing his legendary greatsword, the Rosy Finch blade. Though the king is barefoot and bereft of armor, he strikes down Lord Smart's honor guard, cleaving them one by one until he finally reaches Lord Dum-Dum himself. He stares into Kirby's terrified eyes as he headbutts him with such force that Lord Dum-Dum is thrown backwards through the glass, falling slow motion hundreds of feet to his death. I am the one true king! Today, the Cajuns rule Southeasteros! Tomorrow, the world! Go Tigers!
Just a fun trip down memory lane. Pudgy hobbit-like silhouette is one of my favorite. Chances are, since you heard that, though, you've gotten a bit older, since you heard it originally. And if you want to fight that aging process, you want to head over to Rejuve Me Medical. RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com. That is the website. You go get that free consultation. And look, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, male or female. It happens to us at different rates. We're all different. Treat the effects of untreated aging. Why wouldn't you? We do stuff for our upkeep in our house, home, everything else. Why not our bodies? So go get your labs drawn, figure out exactly what's going on, let them customize a plan for you to feel as good as you possibly can. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's not. Maybe it's semaglutide, maybe it's not. The point, maybe it's just a B vitamin shot. Whatever it is, they got you at Rejuvenate Medical. Got locations Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, Shreveport now as well. RejuveMedical.com, RejuveMedical.com. Eventually, I need to figure out a good way of putting together the 2019 season of Purple and Gold into an easy-to-find package, because even I had to do some real digging to find this on YouTube last night. We'll do it sometime. But, all right, when we get back, let's go to the show. We'll ask the bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, y'all, remember all makes and models I'm talking to here when I tell you about the All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge Body Shop, okay? You get that lifetime warranty once the work is done, as we mentioned. And there's just so many advantages. You go in there, insurance claims are welcome, as we discussed. They got the shuttle service to where when your vehicle's being fixed, they can drop you off your home, pick you back up later. If it's a big fix, multiple days, or whatever, you need a vehicle, well, you go see Miss Lee Sessions in the rental department. She's going to get you right. And the customer service, the text updates throughout the process, they're the absolute best. And if you mention OTB, Hester, or T-Bob, you get $100 towards your deductible. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, also remember, in the holiday season right now, if you've got a trip that you're taking, maybe this weekend for Christmas, or if you have more family coming into town, you don't have a vehicle that's going to fit everyone, you can go rent that Toyota today. So just go ahead, go to the website, find that Toyota at allstartoyota.batonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here. Now, for life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours
T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ooh, yeah. Welcome back, OTB. Close that show, a little Ask the Bench. Cold Coors Light, Busy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. It was funny. There is actually a hidden episode of Song of Purple and Gold that nobody knows about. A 2020 episode that was released before the Mississippi State game, in which we were going to do a multiverse thing. And the Swamp King was trying to hunt down the pieces of the Infinity Chain, like a turnover chain type play. And the first piece was held by the legendary Pirate King, Mike Leach. And they were doing battle on the high seas, and then Bo Pelini happened and completely just shattered Purple and Gold. So way to go, Bo Pelini. If you hadn't done enough damage, you ruined one of my favorite local radio bits that I ever used to do.
A lot of work, though.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, right now, I couldn't have swung it anyway, unfortunately. But it doesn't mean I'm still not mad at Bo Pelini about KJ Costello with over 500 yards. I would have never bet on it. But that's okay, because right now you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code Baton Rouge if it's your first time signing up. We got NBA action going on. You bet $5 in the NBA, you get $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or use. So an instant dub for your friends at DraftKings. Why not do it tonight? If you've never done before, download DraftKings, promo code Baton Rouge. You got Pels, Grizz in the Smoothie King Center tonight. John Morant coming back. Going to be a big game. But look, if you're a returning customer, you have the same game parlay anywhere feature. Now you can build those same game parlays anywhere. No additional steps needed. You want to do multi-game parlays, multi-league parlays, bowl games. It's all there for you. It's more fun when you're in the action. The crown is yours. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Promo code Baton Rouge. New customers get $150 in bonus bets. Instantly betting funds $5 on basketball. 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms of sportsbooks.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms licensing partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. I hate when they write the numbers out, like in words. Makes it so much harder. Just put the numbers. Make the numbers the numbers.
Like when you have .com, like and they spell out.
Yeah, why would you spell out the
.com?
I know what it is. I'm not going to say www.google.com. I don't know. Ask the bench. Which direction in time travel would be easy to figure out, past or future? Future. Without a doubt. Past, you immediately get into paradox. I like time dilation. Read Hyperion. Good sci-fi series.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Patient Plus Urgent Care. Scott Dice says, we still have Gino's Italian. Please didn't ruin them. I heard he was in Gino's quite a bit. Shout out. Patient Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com, where you will see the difference. And you'll see it immediately, y'all. Speaking of big Pels fans, Ruben Patel loves him some Pelly basketball. Shout out, Rube. He's really created something special with Patient Plus, man. Locations everywhere. And this holiday season, stuff's going around, y'all. So whether it's you, the family, whoever, get in and get better, Patient Plus Urgent Care.
Right there at the top of the website, you can become a member with unlimited visits for only $20 a month, and you can learn more information, again, right there at the top of PagePlusUC.com. You know there's going to be a location that's convenient for you in the Baton Rouge area, so no matter where you're at, don't worry, they've got that location for you. Walk-ins are always welcome. You can schedule that appointment online, multiple ways to get in, get out, and get better. PagePlusUC.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would.